Hello, I'm Dan McDowell, longtime professional broadcaster. Why subscribe to our Patreon podcast? Well, perhaps you support our struggle to get out from under the oppressive thumb of the man. Or, objectively, if you sign up at patreon.com/thedumbzone, you'll get the 2 episodes per week that are available on all podcast platforms, like this one, plus an additional 2 episodes each week that are exclusive to Patreon. So subscribing on Patreon gets you 4 episodes per week. Oh my, what a bargain. Now, on to today's program.
The Dumb Zone. All right, you all know your orders. When you see the Taliban come over the horizon, you open fire immediately.
Okay, so when I see Pat Tillman come over the horizon, I shoot him.
No. When you see the enemy come over the horizon, you shoot the enemy.
Okay.
Good, now repeat it back to me.
Okay, I shoot Pat Tillman, then run over the horizon.
No, he's on our side. You charge the enemy.
Right, and shoot Pat Tillman.
No.
Okay, well, you know what, you're going to have to explain it to me again, because it sounds to me like I'm repeating back to you exactly what you're telling me, and obviously you're hearing something different. So just one more time.
Okay, when you see the Taliban come over the horizon, you shoot them.
All right, so I shoot Pat Tillman and then run when the Taliban show up.
No, you shoot the Taliban, not Pat Tillman. Got it?
Got it.
You sure?
Yep.
All right.
Hey, you know where I can find Pat Tillman?
All right. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the Dumb Zone.
Moment of silence for Pat Tillman.
Whoa.
Just a moment.
I wanna listen.
Very brief moment,
I wanna
yeah.
listen to the Dumb Zone.
This is his death anniversary. Hate to spring that on you to start things. But if you want to just go through your mind and think, what's going to be our break audio? I bet you can come up with it.
Is he in heaven?
I was about to ask you.
Find out when we take a break in about an hour. Happy Monday, everyone. I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake Kemp.
I'm Blake Jones. Am I
There you
loud?
go.
Am I loud?
Yeah.
Sweet.
He did
And
it.
we're here with you on recording live to tape high atop my garage today. Monday, 4/22/24. We had a cool event Saturday, and I didn't even stick the open right. So I'm surprised it actually turned out okay, because I had meant to open that show on 4/20 by letting you, especially Jake,
Yeah.
know that was a palindrome, 4202024. So 420, then the 2, and then the 024. 4/20/2024. That won't happen again until there's like 7 more eclipses. It's an incredible date. Mm-hmm. And we just let it go. I think I was baked.
Yeah, probably.
It was Saturday, you know.
Yeah. You were partying. My daughter asked me the other day, hey, will we get to move in to the old house before the next eclipse? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So you're renting a house
Yeah.
because of renovations.
Yeah. And I think she just thinks eclipses are kind of like football season.
Kind of
Yeah.
like Blake.
Yeah, they just come around.
Like, what do I need
whatever.
to see this eclipse for?
Yeah.
Did she think it was awesome?
She did, actually. She did.
It's a wonder of nature.
She's 5.
Good point.
Good company you have there.
But counterpoint, there's not going to be another one anywhere in the U.S. for 20 years.
It was kind of interesting, though. Like, I didn't know how she was going to take it. I didn't know what they were going to do at school. And the next day, whenever we were driving to school, I asked her about it. She actually saw my glasses. Mm-hmm. I still had them in the car, and she asked me about it. And she was like, was the moon mad at the sun? And I was like, yes. That's exactly what happened.
I would stick around for that. A sun and moon fight.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically what it was.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
But rather than trying
the moon
to...
would have no chance.
Rather than, like...
It's got that secret
bumble
military.
effing my way through, like, trying to explain
Different weight
astronomy
class.
to her. I was just like, yes, that's exactly what happened. The moon cucked the sun.
Yeah.
That's totally what it was, babe.
It does suck many things suck about having kids, but especially when they start asking you stuff that you just don't really know. Like, why is the sky blue? You're like,
just freestyle.
Because, why is the sky blue? I don't know. So it matches the curtains?
Yeah,
that's
right, the drapes.
The ocean?
Yeah, I mean, you can also conveniently, even if you are an atheist, you can always be like, because God said.
Yeah.
That shuts things down
It's an
pretty
easy
quick.
way out.
Yeah.
That really works for everything.
What happened to your grandma? Well, she's dead. Well, why? Heaven.
God needed a cherry pie. She made the best one.
It does work, though.
It really does. I mean, it makes you think of where religion started, just the whole, let's just answer these questions.
Yeah, I think pretty much based on I need the easiest explanation possible.
Well, because, I don't know any of this stuff. Well,
Yeah.
why is it? Well, because God.
Yeah.
Well, then, and if I question that, you have said now there's a law that I will possibly be killed, so I will...
And burn.
I will
Yeah.
nod and agree that, yes, indeed. That must be the right answer. But so thanks to the... I wanted to thank a couple people for the Alamo Drafthouse thing. Go to our YouTube page. We did a 420 live event. It was a big success, I think. I don't know. Is selling out a theater in like 18 hours a big success? I don't know. You be the judge.
I'm a
not
big
one
fan of feeling himself Dan.
Yeah.
I like that a little
Yep.
bit.
I think it was pretty good, though. Things went well. Seems like people had fun. I really enjoyed the movie. I had never seen Pineapple Express. Now, I missed the first 20 minutes or so because of being too famous. When I went outside to go to the bathroom, there was a bunch of people there buying gear and stuff. And so anyway, it was a good time. But you can go back and relive it on our YouTube page at YouTube and then search The Dumb Zone. But one of the items we had out there was, if you noticed, like, you can't really tell we're getting better if you listen day by day and you watch everything we do, but
it's like your kid getting taller.
right, it's just a millimeter better.
Yeah.
And so we got a millimeter better on our public presentation because we had a table skirt with the Dumb Zone logo on it. And we actually had this idea. I think it was in the big meeting you had to miss, the Wednesday meeting, where we were just doing a last-minute thing, last second. Is the movie theater good? Is the tech okay? Guests we have lined up, get a run sheet going. And we kind of said, oh, man, it'd be really cool if we could ever have, like, the logo on a table skirt. So Raymond from E6 Sportswear was on that call, and I was like, how fast can you pull one of those off? He's like, well, actually, someone who wanted to contribute to the cause here and to get us something that we could use contacted him and said he wanted to buy us a table skirt, and his name is Letty Foster.
Oh.
From the bus.
Yeah. Good guy.
Letty from the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Letty's last name is Foster. Should I know that there shouldn't be a lot of Lettys? Anyway, Letty Foster is the one who reached out to Raymond, bought that, and he might have even bought there was a big Dumb Zone, I'll say sign, but banner. The word is banner. And anyway, so we wanted to give a shout out to him and say thanks. And we need, what we need? I mean, if people are buying stuff and, hey, how could I support? We need like the wedding register thing.
Okay, yeah.
Where, we could use this mic.
Yeah.
Or this headset. Or this, you want to, if this would support, or this, 9/11 poster or whatever, this Sinbad book. And then that way you won't double up and do something that someone else has already done.
I don't think people really buy birthday gifts for their friends when they're adults, but that would be a really cool thing to be able to do just outside of your wedding, because that was a fun experience. I mean, the male doesn't really participate that much.
What do you mean? What's the fun?
Just creating it.
You created the The wedding registry website, so you can pick what the things you're going to want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we might have done it for the kid, too. Like on birth.
I don't know if that was a bit when I got married.
It's pretty sweet. And basically, so here's what you can do.
So you don't get 4 toasters.
Exactly.
You get
Right.
one.
Yeah,
and
you
you
can
get
actually,
the one
that you want.
that you kind of like. Yeah.
And you can actually go to the store, and if I recall correctly, this checks out, they'll give you like a scanning gun.
Oh yeah, we did that.
And so you can just walk around, whatever department store.
Okay, so you say, let's just say it's Kohl's, because that comes to mind.
Sure.
So you're registered at Kohl's. They go to Kohl's, and they say, yeah, here's the list.
Mm-hmm.
You can go walk around. So, like, if you want a piece of luggage, that's the kind you want.
Yes.
And I had gone up and
Boy, what a great
tagged
man.
that with a scanner.
Oh, so you walk around the
That's
store
what I'm saying.
first.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do it first.
They just
Well-
they just go to the website.
It's hard getting the gun from the wife.
There's a gun struggle.
So you did this?
Yeah. Which basically you just follow her around into the stuff that you don't want.
What store did you guys go?
Kohl's is popular because they have a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I think we went Bed Bath and Beyond too,
A classic.
Yeah, yeah.
and
You get
that's
the
probably.
nice thick towel,
Yeah.
not the.
And then we did it on Amazon too.
I think we did that as well. Now that one obviously all online, but yeah. It's badass. I mean, it's like you feel like Richie Rich, like a little kid.
Yep. This
It's
I
like
want this. I want
this.
this. I
Now,
want
is there
this.
anything
this-
you tagged but you didn't get, and you were
Oh,
like
yeah.
bummed out?
Well, because they
I'm sure there was. Yeah, I don't recall specifically, but yeah, I'm sure.
because they tell you to ask for it. So you go to the very expensive stuff, and if somebody wants to buy you that, sure.
Yeah.
But that stuff you don't get really.
That's great.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
You also can do the thing where they help you pay for your honeymoon, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
I forget what you call it, but you sign up and say, "Hey, this is our plan for the honeymoon. It's going to cost this much. If you just want to give us money, then do it here."
Dangerous though, because some people will judge you for asking like, "Oh, you're going to Hawaii, huh?"
Why don't you just go to North Carolina?
Yeah, I went to Charleston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Catch a Duke game?
Yeah, I don't know.
There is a judgment that comes with that, though. Very similar to my 529 email, which I've told you guys about.
The biggest contributor for my honeymoon fund was Norm. I thought that was pretty cool of him. He didn't judge me on where I went.
Really?
Yeah, because we were just going
What did he throw in?
$250, I think.
I just actually came to
I
your
thought
wedding.
I'd be more impressed.
He was our biggest contributor.
Okay.
No, if you're grading on a curve.
Kind of feels like about the amount I spent on your
You're right.
gift.
No, you probably gave more.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want people to know that I didn't give that so that nobody would ever know.
And again, you didn't give your presents, so
No.
You
Well,
had to
what I
give-
did is I gave my meal.
your presence is a presence.
I asked if my meal could be just given to a homeless guy behind the place, but I'm glad you ate. I wouldn't want you to go hungry.
Yeah, well, you also traded meat for soup at my wedding, so
I really did.
you're a dealer.
Hey, we should welcome
We have
in-
guests.
We have 690 sit-ins today.
Don't talk too much.
They are. Oh, you can talk.
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
Okay.
Do your thing. This is
People get
Lane,
mad.
and Lane has brought sand to the beach. Chloe, Lane, and Chloe. I really thought this was going to be a boys' time, and we'd have
Yeah.
some chicks over, and then all of a sudden Chloe walks in. So this is kind of ruining my Monday.
They're waiting outside.
Thank you for having us and letting me bring my better half here.
What's your bit?
My bit is I'm a therapist down in Austin. I
Hell
do
yeah.
psychotherapy, so talk therapy, help people with anxiety and things like that, depression.
Have you done that? That's your bit? You've talked to a therapist, right?
Yeah, quite often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy would be great, wouldn't he? What if you walked in there and there's Lane?
There's Lane sitting there.
Lane seems great, but you really want somebody who doesn't have any idea, like, what you're...
Your whole scene or anything?
don't want that.
Isn't that kind of difficult, though? Like,
I
why are you so
I've-
anxious today? I don't know. Like, so I work for this radio station, and it's like, well, why is that a big deal that you left? Well,
It's better than them being like, I thought your last couple 15 for 15 sucked.
Yeah.
Way better. Yeah, no, it's a weird bit. Like I've
So you'd
sensed-
rather totally be honest and pour your heart out to someone
Completely.
that you don't know at all.
Yes, I think so. I think when you can tell, and this has happened to me twice, that the person that you're talking to has some level of background on who you are, it's not good.
Because he goes in there, Dan is such an asshole, and they're like, well, I didn't think he was that bad.
He's kind of the only reason the show works.
You're like, all right, you're fired.
You should probably listen to Dan more.
Yeah. I'm friends with Kat, actually.
Has anyone done? I can't follow up on that.
Can I tell you real quick? I know I met Kat. I used to work at KLIF back in 2004, and therapy for me is a second career. And Dan, I have a story to tell you about my very first day at work. Can I bust this out?
It's got to be about me.
It's great though. It's
Okay.
great. My first day of work.
Like I was an
This
asshole.
might not ever make the episode, but
This was 2004, and I was working at a radio station down in Austin, and I submitted my tape to Jeff Hillary, who was the program director at 570 KLIF, 16th floor, Maple Avenue.
Of course.
I get hired at 23 years old to a big market radio station. I didn't know they were the last place station in Dallas at the time.
But it's Dallas.
But it's
Dallas.
Dallas. It's a huge
Number 5,
deal.
number 6 market. Yeah.
So I get the job. I move up. I'm from Dallas, but it's a whole different landscape for me. I'm brand new. I ride the elevator up on my first day of work with you and Bob. And Dan, you overheard me say to the guy at the front desk, "Oh, it's my first day of work at Cliff."
Uh-huh.
And you go, "Oh, what are you doing over there at Cliff?" And I go, "Oh, I'm their new evening news anchor." And you go you said something like, "Oh, great!" And it was something like, "I'm sure that'll last a while." and I go, and you're like cracking up everyone in the elevator, and I'm like, "This guy, you're totally
he'll do that.
Yeah, you're killing in this elevator." And I go, "So what do you do?" And you go, "Oh, I'm the janitor." Yeah. And it took me days to piece together who you actually were, and I was like, "That guy's awesome. I'm going to be running into him all the time." And I never saw you ever.
That was the
again.
last time we
the
saw
last
each
time I
other.
ever saw you. This is my first time to talk to you since then in 2004. So it's a full circle moment for me. Thank you for having me here today.
Okay, that's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, no, it was great.
I've heard worse.
It was really cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry that whole thing didn't work out. I don't know.
No,
What do I
it's
say
good.
here?
I moved on. I was there when Cumulus took over and laid everyone off in what was that, 05, 06.
Were you a victim of that?
No. I managed to survive that.
So you were an evening news guy.
I was an evening news guy a million years ago, yeah.
Okay. That's awesome, dude.
And then I decided I wanted to do something different.
Had you already gone to college to be a therapist, or
No, so I went to UT. By the way, Jake, thank you so much for you've been one of the only people that stood up that would stand up for speak to the Longhorn fan base. So thank you for that over the years. That's really
Kind of changed a little.
Okay, but I did go to UT a million years ago and did radio, television, film there. I wanted to be Quentin Tarantino.
okay.
And then ended up in radio, and then was like, "What am I doing? I need something."
Same.
I've
different.
wasted 6 years
Yeah,
of my life.
yeah. I didn't have what y'all have though.
So you go back to college?
So I went to UNT and got a master's degree in counseling and became a licensed professional counselor.
Quite popular at UNT, right? That's a really good program.
It's
I think.
it's the best in Texas actually. Way to go, yeah.
And did you meet your
This
wife?
is a guy who's been in a lot of offices and seen a lot of degrees
Yeah.
on the wall. So
No, I mean
I'm familiar.
I've gone to therapy too. That's part of what made me want to be a therapist is having good experiences doing it.
Was Chloe your patient?
Is it tough to be married to a therapist?
Is that frowned upon? Yeah.
No, it's nice. He doesn't psychoanalyze me, and
That's
if
good.
anything, it's helped.
He doesn't tell you he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
He's manipulating you.
Does he speak therapy talk, though? That must be a beating.
In the bedroom and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's process.
Yeah, let's help me out.
Actually-
What would I say?
Trust me, I can walk you through it.
She actually kind of hit the jackpot because he doesn't mind to talk.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
And
Yeah,
communicate.
Yeah, but his job is like listening all day, so he doesn't want to hear her yammer on.
that's true too.
That's true.
You know? Like, you think you got problems. Yeah, she's telling you her mundane problems with the dog or something, and you're like, look, I just talked to this guy who...
He's cutting himself.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. I.
Right. Yeah.
Right. No, really. For the most part, I feel very lucky and grateful that, for the most part, I get to talk with people all day, and like I do kind of
That
like
sounds
that.
great.
It's what? It's not that different from radio in a way. You just get to sit and talk.
Yeah,
It's
we
nice.
talk at people. We don't really then have to see them and interact with them, though.
Yeah. As they're crying.
What do you
Why's that funny,
charge per
Chloe?
hour?
Is it
180.
variable?
180 an hour.
Yeah.
Is
You know-
there... What do you mean?
Well, so there are some places, depends on your insurance, but there are some places that they charge you based on your income.
Oh, okay, yeah. Rent-controlled building or something. Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. So you're like, all right, well...
Well, that must have worked out great for you
It
once
worked-
we quit the ticket.
It worked out quite well.
Well, we didn't quit the ticket. We just
Yeah,
have a contract.
all that, yeah. But it's like, it's a weird deal because
Like
you
last week, I was paying you this.
Yeah,
Guess
you
what?
want to
This
talk to
week-
them about work, and I'm like, hey, I have horrible news. I'm no longer at my former employer. And they're like, well, how does that feel? And I'm like, well, it feels like you're going to be making less. It feels like I'm going to be paying you 20% of what I used to.
She's like, I have horrible news, too.
Yeah.
The schedule is just
Yeah.
filled up.
That's right. That's right.
How can people find you?
I think Instagram would probably be a good one.
Really?
I'm Ingram.Lane. INGRAM is my last name.
We got to get on this Instagram, boys.
We've been doing better.
We've been hitting it.
Have we? We
We've
have
been-
more, like,
We've been doing better.
followers?
Yeah.
Subscribers?
Yeah.
Followers.
Followers.
You don't subscribe on Instagram.
No, we're trying.
What's our thing?
Dumb Zone 69.
Okay.
God, so many bits.
So someone has Dumb Zone.
Yes.
Who in the hell has our Dumb Zone?
I don't know.
Contact us. Come on. That's what we put that on our wedding registry thing. We want
We want the
handle?
Dumb Zone.
yeah, we want the Dumb Zone.
It's not a bad idea,
Like,
actually.
who owns the Dumb Zone on Instagram? Can you go there and see?
Yeah, I mean, they don't even have a picture, if I remember right.
Squatters.
I hope it's not Cumulus. They're like, we're going to get this.
Listen, no posts.
No post. Man, we'd be inundating that thing. Can we, like, send them a message? Say, hey,
Oh,
bruv.
yeah, we can.
Yeah. There we go.
Give us our account, you bitch.
All right, well,
Let's be a little more diplomatic.
Okay, well, we can talk it out. If you want.
well, thanks for being here, Lane and Chloe.
Thank you for having us.
And, you know the bit, right? Just, you want to chime in? I don't know.
What do you
very
do,
nice of
Chloe?
you.
I know she's off mic, but...
Yeah, do we have a mic for Chloe?
Oh,
or
she
no?
just said... Yeah, she told us that. She's an architect.
Architect. Okay.
Nice. This is a power couple.
This
It is.
I know.
Oh, and she's also
They must
a
have so much money without their kids. They got no kids. You guys have probably been.
I'm
to
sorry,
France.
what? I got kind of lost in my thoughts there for a second.
I was gonna brag on her. She's also a comedy performer down in Austin at Fallout Theater down there. She's we lived in Chicago and did like the Second City Training Center like
Well, I know
10 years ago.
I know what we're doing for closing remarks.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. 45 minutes
Better
set.
warm up. Yeah. Start stretching.
Just an improviser, not a stand-up.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for stuff, supporting
Yeah.
us, and all that kind of stuff. On today's program.
And thank you to Jordan Michael.
Yes.
Oh, Jordan at the Alamo. I'm sorry. Yeah, we got a lot of Tony Cooper and his buddy Freddie was out there, and Adam Romo I sat next to during the movie because Blake made sure he put 2 seats between him and Adam Romo because Blake gets annoyed by Adam Romo, doesn't
I just wanted to sit next to Beth.
he? Drop Beth. I sat next to Drop Beth and Adam Romo, and yeah, Adam Romo had seen the movie before and was pretty fired up about the whole thing, as Adam Romo will be
Sure.
about bits.
I got towed.
Oh my God, I forgot.
I called him yesterday to check in.
Yeah, so I've been towed a lot. I think that I was trying to recollect. I think that was my 6th time to be towed.
Jeez, oh Pete, Blake.
Do you think one of these times you're going to have to say, like, look at the mirror? Like, who's at fault here?
No.
This one was 100% your fault.
I don't think so.
You parked in the loading zone.
Hold on. Okay, so we had to meet up and get equipment. I had a lot of equipment in my car. And so we took three vehicles over, and they let us park right in front of the Alamo to unload. And that was the last I heard of that process. The other 2 vehicles knew to move. No one told me that I had to move. And so, yeah, after the movie, I walk out to no cars out there. And somebody in our group was like, oh, yeah, I probably should have told you that we had to move our cars.
Well, okay, let me tell you my experience with this. When I got there, I was a little bit late. I got there about an hour and 15 minutes before the show started. And I'm driving around, and I can't get in to where Blake is. They have erected, like, those little cylinder-type things, like little poles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that means you can't park up there. And Blake's like, just come in here. I'm like, well, I would have to, like, literally drive up almost onto a curb to get in there. Feels like they don't want me in there. He's like, well, that's where I am. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that.
I thought we had squatters' rights or something.
Yeah, so you parked there at the beginning.
Of we shouldn't be here.
And then you just decided yourself that I can just stay here all day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
did anyone from the movie theater say, hey, this is great, park here as long as you want?
No, but no one said, hey, you can't park here.
Okay. Well, I pulled up and it was pretty clear to me we weren't supposed to be parking there.
Yeah, but you were coming in as the concert comers were coming in, and I just thought
still,
I was
clear.
here early. I got my spot, and this is where I can stay until someone tells me otherwise.
Whenever we were loading up or like breaking down all the gear, I can't remember if it was Clayton or Rob. Somebody said, "Hey, we need to go outside and see if Blake's car is there." And I'm like, "Why? Why would that be?" I didn't understand. And then we walked outside, and lo and behold, it wasn't. And then I understood that Blake had parked in a risky zone.
I parked where they told me to park.
I'm just saying, though, if you've been towed 6 times, because most people, if they get towed, it's kind of like a once thing. And they will make again, okay, if there's even the hint of this could be wrong, I'll go ahead and park a little farther away. But I get you didn't want to, it was raining. It'll get wet. You don't want to get wet.
I mean, I was just there 6 hours before the event.
Ooh.
And I wanted to load in the equipment that I had to bring, you know. But yeah, it was
well,
fine.
You weren't a part of Load Out.
Yeah, that's the price.
Yeah.
Get my car towed, then I'm not helping.
Yeah, that's the benefit.
So a good dumb zoner Wes took me to South Dallas to get my car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that far away?
Dude, and I've
Why
been to
don't they
that.
just
That's
use the
only one
local
We were in Las
tow?
Colinas.
I know. I had to go to he drove me 30 minutes south to South Dallas to get my car.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. But that's,
there not
that's
a
like one of
local-
the more famous, not famous, but it's one of the bigger ones in DFW for sure.
I mean, there's
more
not
memorable.
a
No.
tow company in Las Colinas?
I guess not. Yeah, I thought the same. Like, okay, let me just drive 10 minutes or something, Uber over there. But yeah, he had to lug me to South Dallas.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife about this yesterday because I offered to take Blake Saturday, but then he was already gone. So I called him yesterday, and she kind of overheard it. The worst is, so it's happened to me twice. One time I was like 19, 20 years old in Austin, going to a UT game. I parked, I went into a 7-Eleven, walked out, and I'm telling you, Dan, 5 minutes, maybe less, and I actually saw them hooking the car up.
Did you go get in it?
I have heard of people doing that. Like, wait, didn't Adam Carolla do that once or something?
So what? They didn't unhook it for you?
No. He's like, once I've been called, I have to
They
take
can
it.
drop it. There's a drop
Of course
fee.
they can. And I
Yeah,
was
what
like,
if you're like his buddy?
and then I told him, I was like, dude, I have a $300 limit on my ATM card. I can go back in here right now. I will pay you $300 to let this car go. Because I knew it was going to be
Just the beating
at
of
least that much, plus
Yeah.
the beating. And he's like, no, I got to do it. Like, he had literally, I watched him, like, put the hook on the
I wonder if
bumper
it's
of the
like
car.
that could be an employee thing.
Probably.
Quota.
Yeah, no, or just like,
His
hey,
boss
hey,
is
if,
like, yeah.
if it gets in the system
Yeah.
to prevent anyone from working out a side deal. The guy
Oh,
walks up,
yeah.
hands him $100, and then he tells
Probably, yeah, his
the
boss.
company,
Yeah.
"Oh, it wasn't there." Or
It was
something.
like 1:30 in the afternoon, and then I had a game to go to. Either a 2:30 or 3:30 kick or something, and I'm like, well,
Going to the game.
at 10 o'clock tonight, I'm going to have to make my way to South Austin somehow, pre-Uber. That sucked.
Yeah, the tow world sucks.
It really does.
6 times?
That does feel like a record.
I don't even know if I've ever been towed.
Yeah, I think
I've been repoed.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big beating.
Yeah, once or twice after a concert. Most of my damage came at North Texas because I didn't want to pay like the $300 for a parking pass, so I'd just try to find all these like other lots to park in.
And how much did that cost you over time then?
Yeah, way more. Yeah, but I'm 21 and I think I can get away with it.
I've been towed a couple times.
Yeah.
I've had to go to the place in South Austin that you're talking
it was
about.
the worst.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
What was that conservative chick from ESPN's name?
Is it the one she was, hey, baby girl?
Or hey, honey, or something?
Oh,
like she called her
yeah.
fat or something?
Yeah,
Lose
yeah.
some weight, baby girl.
Lose some weight,
Yeah.
baby girl.
Why did
No,
she
I'm not
come
gonna
up?
Search it.
Well, she got
That was
towed.
a tow situation.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
they had like a
Why are you mean to that
CCT
person?
That was the whole. That's why.
Okay, all right. You got repoed?
Yeah, right before I worked here, I was working in Dayton, but I wasn't making too much money.
And what he was making was not going to his car payment.
Right. There are certain people that won't take like credit; they only will take cash.
Yeah.
And those people would help me get through the day.
Yeah. Sure.
I had to buy pot, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I was back then, right? Back then.
Change man.
So yeah, no, I was always 2 to 3 car payments behind. And one morning, I lived in a pretty bad neighborhood too. We had like crack dealer next door. The bad neighborhood of Dayton. It's not that bad, but it's still pretty bad. And woke up one day, walked outside. My little vehicle is not there, and I was praying that it got stolen. I thought that would be great because then I'd get some insurance or something, and
More pot.
right. But no. And then the station management didn't want me to talk about it publicly because I was on the air, and we're of course trying to get the 25 to 54-year-old to listen. And it was male and female. It was WHIO in Dayton. It was like the news talk leader, blah, blah, blah. And I did the afternoon, talk show from like 3 to 7. And so they didn't want their, listener base thinking that I would eat two things. One, be too irresponsible that I would get my car repoed, and two, that they don't pay me that much. It's so little that I'm getting my car repoed. I think I was making...
Wasn't it like 18,000 or something?
It might have been like 40, but I was kind of splitting it with my buddy Joe, who I brought with me. They weren't hiring like me and a guy, so I don't remember how I exactly dealt with it. I might have just paid all our rent or something like that. But he was like the board op / producer, and they weren't hiring 2 positions. They were just hiring a talk show host, but I needed to bring him. And so, I was making very little money. And so I think they ended up paying it to get it out for me.
Nice.
Okay.
That was kind of a little bit of a bonus. But the trade-off was I couldn't talk about it
Deal.
on the air. Yeah, that felt pretty good to get that vehicle back, which I think I ended up giving that to Dallas Can years later because I drove that across country.
Is that the one that you told your wife that it was like cat piss when it was pot?
Yes, she knew.
This is one of the weirdest diversions I've ever heard in my life. Like skunk, everybody said, "Oh, it's a
She
skunk."
said, your car smells kind of like your apartment." I said, yeah, because I take the cats in here over to my mom's house to watch them or whatever. So she thought cat smell was my apartment smell. Yeah.
In the same car that you had coat hangers in the back?
Can't believe that worked.
Yes. So our first date ever was I had a coat hanger where the radio antenna would be. Kids, cars used to have radio antennas, but the radio antenna had broken off, so I just put a coat hanger in there because I don't have money to buy a radio antenna.
Sure.
But
It
love
works.
the radio.
Yeah.
And then, yes, I told my wife on the first date that if things went really well tonight, like too well, we could also use that coat hanger to end the possible life that it would be growing inside you tomorrow morning. I used a bit more crass language, and somehow
That's a different you.
I ended up marrying her. So she knew,
Cat piss and all.
She kind of
Even
knew
that.
what she's getting into, right?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of have to tell her now. Like, look,
Dude, my
you knew pretty early on I'm a dirtbag. I'm doing abortion humor on our first joke.
The twisters
date.
thing.
Yeah.
So much.
I had a broken hand wrist the night that I met my wife. She had to unbutton my button up for me to be able to hold a drink. She knew right then. She's like, "What the fuck happened to your hand?" I'm like, "Flag football. I got to fight." She's like, "I love you.
This is my guy.
Let's get married."
Dude, Jake, that is one of the things I really loved about High Tea Jake is when you would tell the stories about the anger. That I always identified with that. The first time I ever went to therapy was for anger stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like kids chill you out. I mean, other than when you want to actually kill them, But I do think in general, kids calm you down. And I'm apparently not supposed to say anything nice about Dan anymore, lest it could be made into a montage. But I also think hanging out with people who are have a solid perspective on life and everything helps too.
Totally.
But I grew up in a pretty. We had a lot of conflict.
Yeah, same
we were-
with my family and growing up.
We were a high
yeah.
tea family.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
Hey guys,
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Well,
on
that
the scoreboard,
couldn't have gone worse.
109-97, Clippers over the Mavs. Game 1
Never that close.
was not anywhere near that close. Incredible game. Incredible that Luka scored 33, Kyrie scored 31. All other Mavs scored 33.
Yeah, and that wasn't a good, whatever it was, 31 from Luka. Yeah, and
that shows you the bar.
yeah.
If you could see a 33, what do you have, 33, 10 rebounds, whatever.
13.
13 rebounds. Yes, those would be great numbers for just about anyone else.
Man, but 26 shots is a lot. And the step back has gotten so much better. I think you can actually look up the numbers now, and him and Harden are taking the most, and they're hitting them at the highest clip. But the first possession just being a no-pass step-back three from the left wing, that just felt like an absolute give-up. Remember the days of old where he would just, drag Zubats into the deep water, and they would just pick and roll him to death until he couldn't play anymore? And now it's just oh, okay, well, I'm not even going to make one pass. I'm just going to, with 12 seconds left in the shot clock, jack up a step-back three that clangs. And then I'm going to do it 2 more times in the next 5 possessions just for good measure. That was, I don't know, man. It was lethargic at best. They got embarrassed.
That Zubac was just dominating him early.
He was just bodying Gafford, which I haven't seen. That hasn't happened to Gafford really since he's been in a Mavs uniform. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, Gafford also got a couple quick fouls, so now he's out.
Yeah.
Just a couple minutes in.
Yeah, and it's weird too because as bad as you feel coming out of that, it's the playoffs. It's one game. They could easily come out and shoot the lights out of the ball tomorrow night and take home court back, and then you're coming back to Dallas Friday night 1-1, and you feel decent about it. But man,
Isn't that
I don't
weird?
know. Yeah,
Because you're right, but I still don't feel that
I don't either, but I mean, remember the Mavericks.
Like, I feel like they're dead.
The Mavericks were up 3-2 on the Clippers 3 years ago, and they were up like 31-11 in the first quarter. That was a game Blake and I were at. They should have closed the game out that night, and they didn't. And Kawhi went Terminator, and they went back to L.A., and the Clippers won in Game 7. So it just happens, but
doesn't it
happening
almost,
like that was
do you think it feel
that was tough.
Is that good to have that punch in the face? Because had it been a really close, hard-fought game,
You're
you
like,
wouldn't
oh,
feel
that was
bad at
all
all. You would only feel bad because Kawhi was out.
Yeah.
But Kawhi being out and that?
But you also can't shoot the ball much worse. And there is some level of just things level out, right? Randomness, and it doesn't always work that way. If you flip a coin and you get tails, it doesn't mean that you're more likely to get heads next time. But
it just felt, too, the whole
30% from three is probably not going to happen again.
We're all talking about how things are different and things feel better. And this lineup that they put out, they said at the beginning of the game, that lineup was 15-1 this year on the floor.
Yeah.
Luka, Kyrie, Derek Jones, P.J. Washington, and Daniel Gafford.
And you got Lively back, so you're thinking, boy, we've got 48 minutes of center play here. Maxey was awful.
Oh, my God.
I think he just is awful.
It might be over.
And that's what I kept thinking during the game is we used to rely on this guy a lot.
Dude, remember there's been series before where it's like, can he save the season?
Well, yeah, what
The
did he
Utah-
hit? 7 or 8 against
8.
Utah? 8?
8.
And he's not even close.
No, and he doesn't want to shoot it either.
No. That was the most disheartening thing is just guys were just scared of getting the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
And that second quarter was atrocious.
Yeah, it was tough. I feel like Kidd got outcoached. I think not challenging Harden kicking Maxey in the junk on a 3 was a very weird oversight.
It was very easy to remember why we hate James Harden so much.
Yeah, well,
It didn't take long.
trust me, everybody feels that way about Luka.
That's a good point.
Do they? As much as Harden? Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're biased.
How about that was egregious. How do you not challenge that?
I don't know. I don't know how you don't just call it.
Like,
but
how about
yeah.
what are you doing? What is it you say you do here?
Yeah.
I didn't hear the post game. How was he?
Kidd?
Hey, things happen.
Well, it was a lot of
It's just basketball. People are. Nobody died.
Yeah, nobody died.
There's a war.
Series isn't over.
I'm watching just like you guys.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm just.
It was a lot of.
You guys have all the ideas.
It was a lot of things got better in the second half. And I'm like, yeah, well, you were doubled up in the first half. You
Every
think they're
team.
trying that hard when they're up 26 at the break?
That's
of course not.
right.
So he's like, we
And
got
they
a lot
didn't
of
get that
positives
much
we can
better.
take out of it. No, but they had a couple runs.
They didn't score 8.
They didn't score 8
In a
In a quarter. But, yeah, it was bad. Paul George looked like prime elite Paul George again. Harden is going to hit threes if you have to leave him open. They look weak. They look small and they look weak.
Yeah. And that's just not the way we've been feeling.
Dude, there was a play early where, and I think Kyrie even said this, because he got interviewed after the first quarter. And there was a play where he was just like asleep on an offensive rebound. It was in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game. And he even said it. He's like, I kind of spaced out there for a second. And that's just what it looked like. It looked like they just, I don't know. It felt very 2:30 afternoon game.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it felt very 12:30 LA time.
12:30 LA time, yeah.
Which I thought was weird because if you played 90% of your games at a certain time, it's weird that game 1 of a series is not at that time.
Yeah, I mean, I said it last week. I was very surprised that they were not the later game. Now, there's also, if you recall, the time the Mavericks were up 77-27 on the Clippers on a Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah, but that game 7 was
the first half. But yeah,
mid-afternoon game. That all kind of washes out. But they just they weren't ready to play.
That should affect the team in LA though, right? More. Because you're playing at 2:30. That's not that bad. As those guys who are playing there's at 12:30.
Yeah. They may be more used to it, but also they have a bunch of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, but do you feel like
that
it was
have been through playoff battles?
Do you think the Mavs though went in a little overconfident as well?
When Kawhi was out?
Kawhi is out. They've been rolling. all people are asking is, it's just like the Cowboys. Well, why is this year? This is different. Now you've had this huge run. You're 20-4 in your last, and this lineup is great. And like certainly all they've been hearing is just how great things are. In fact, Blake told me when he talked to you, you said that the Mavs were not favored. So I went to my site of choice, and I saw the Mavs were favored by 3.5, so I did not throw down any money.
When did you go?
Okay, Kawhi had already been announced out.
Yes.
I went 5 minutes before tip.
Yeah, so there was like a 5-point swing or a 4.5-point swing when they ruled Kawhi out.
Okay, but that saved me money because I was going to put a fair piece on the Mavs thinking, hell yeah.
My dumbass went to the money line when they were down 20 yesterday. I was like, they can't keep missing every shot.
They'll make a run.
It's the NBA. Teams make runs.
Yeah.
That money vanished very quickly.
Well, you're looking for value.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We got pretty emotional Kyrie on the bench. Did y'all see that?
I did. He's kind of the guy.
What was he doing? I guess I didn't.
Yelling.
Yeah. I don't think it was on mic'd up. By the way, Tyronn Lue might be a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
His mic'd up stuff is great.
He's got some hardcore dumb face.
He definitely does.
Yeah, open mouth.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Black Eli Manning.
Might have a fly.
Look it up.
Fly in there, just landing on his eyeball or something. He won't even know it.
I think he's a good coach, though. Sorry, Dan.
No, he might be.
Sorry that Mike Brown and Tyronn Lue continue to prove that maybe it wasn't just their fault when LeBron hated him.
Yeah, he's probably hated every coach, right? They wanted to run Spoelstra out of there.
Well, it's one game.
Did your guys how was your TV broadcast?
It was weird, right? I saw some people
like the mic level.
Yeah.
Because when I watched it, so I went back to get audio this morning, and I'm going to play you some. And it didn't sound like off YouTube TV on the computer, I can hear the announcers. But when watching it live yesterday here on YouTube TV on the TV, I could not hear anything the announcers were saying.
I thought Richard Jefferson's mic was super low.
Super low.
That's okay.
In fact,
it's actually not bad. You're right.
Well, we'll get to that. Let me play you a couple of things. In fact, this is the one where I'm like, I think he might have said something about Boban there. So this is pretty late in the game. Like I had marked a bunch of times early when I just couldn't hear anything they were saying, but going back today, I'm like, oh, I can hear all this really clear. This won't be a good segment, but I'm like, is he mentioning Boban there? Like, because everybody's cheering real wildly. So the Mavs are down like 20, but everybody's going nuts as Derek Lively is shooting free throws. He had missed the first one, and so he's about to shoot the second one.
Chick-fil-A on the line. Derek Lively says, no chicken for you.
So obviously what we're doing is the free throw bid. If you miss 2 free throws at a certain point of the game or whenever, you get free Chick-fil-A. The whole crowd does.
You get a coupon. Yes, that is correct.
Or a coupon for a 6-piece or something.
Or a Frosty in Isaiah Thomas's case.
Okay.
I just wanted a Frosty.
So he makes the second, so there is no.
I will say this. Can we have our moment for Boban? With Boban helping the crowd to get chicken. Yeah. One of the greatest things that I have seen on the basketball floor.
All right, let's stop.
You know,
was he on the Spurs?
It's Michael Jordan over Craig Elo.
Well, I was going to say, though, wasn't he part of, like, championship teams?
Cleveland? Yeah.
Who?
Richard Jefferson?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So the great... Also, let's do a reset or something. Now I'm watching this game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A social media viral moment that came and went. We do, because we're all over Boban and everything. But to just say that, and yes, to label it one of the great moments in NBA Like, is it in the
Wilt's 100?
Is it in the playoff montage? Jordan goes
Right.
up and then under, and
Yeah.
then you see somebody else doing a 360 dunk, and then you
Dirk's
see
underhand layup.
yeah,
And then
or
Boban,
a fadeaway. Yeah.
Boban yelling to the crowd, "I've got you."
God,
Yeah,
Jefferson.
that I don't know the guy's name, but he bothers me. The play-by-play guy.
The play-by-play guy. So here he's bringing this up, a word that I love. So now the Mavs are down like 17. Okay?
Here we go.
Doncic.
2 minutes left.
Step back three. Off the mark. George the rebound. And Clippers once again have been able to stomp out the momentum that Dallas was building, trying to overcome a monstrous deficit.
There's 2 minutes left in the game, and they're down 107-90. Wow. Somehow they stomped out all that momentum. They're wiping their, whew, I'm glad he missed that one.
Yeah, that would have put it to 14.
Yeah.
That would have made it a 4-possession, 5-possession game.
But if you were to think either of those were the dumbest thing you heard all night, then you had to wait until the final buzzer sounded to hear the dumbest thing, and it's going to be given to us by Richard Jefferson.
No Kawhi, no problem. The Los Angeles Clippers take game one against the Mavericks. 109-97 the final.
I will say this. Dallas Mavericks did a very good job of battling back into this game, building some confidence going into the next game. The one thing about these 7-game series, the team that loses has the advantage because they are going to come back and they're going to make adjustments. Meanwhile, the Clippers are going to keep everything consistent and try and raise their level.
Yeah, no, you'd rather lose.
That's basically what he just told me there.
Yeah.
That's one thing that the average sports fan just doesn't know. The team that loses has the advantage.
Yeah, in fact, so it's best of 7, right? I would advocate losing the first 3.
Because then your backs are really against the wall.
And you've got so much more information for adjustments.
Right. And they're just going to keep doing the same thing.
Right.
Like
which
defeating you by
winning.
40.
I'm seeing here if you
so
win.
hold on. So I looked at all the sports.
What a dummy.
With these 7-game series. Mm-hmm. And because maybe NBA is different than Major League Baseball or hockey. So Major League Baseball, actually, if you win the first game of a 7-game series, you go on to win the series 64.3% of the time.
Wow, that's more than 50.
That is more than 50, but not a greatly. Now, Richard Jefferson would be wrong with baseball, but
let's keep going.
Let's keep going. So in the NHL, if you win game 1, 68.6% of the time you win this. That's more than baseball.
Yeah.
But you cannot compare sports. That's ridiculous. They're
right.
Totally different. Two totally different things. So let's go to the NBA. If you win game 1 of a 7-game series, you are going to win that series 75.6% of the time.
Yikes.
Which would be 24.4%, right? That you would losing game 1.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's an advantage. In fact, let me go a little further for Richard Jefferson. A home team that wins game 1 of a series will win that series 85% of the time.
That's even more again. That's not good.
So the numbers, just objective numbers, would tell you the Mavs right now have a 15% chance of winning this series.
But that is data that you spent like a year combing through all that and putting that together, and I think you had to pay for some subscription services, and that was not
I searched very quickly this morning. In fact, Blake just illustrated because he was about to steal that thunder because he searched it too, and it took him 2 seconds to find that number. And Richard Jefferson's a player. He's been in these games. He's won a game 1. He's lost a game 1.
Got him right where we want him.
Well, he would rather lose it, honestly.
Yeah, I wish I didn't just hear that that data or that audio, frankly. But I mean, it's. I would be interested to see how that looks over if the trend has changed at all, because it does feel like there's a way higher variance with way more 3-pointers being shot.
I think it's probably changing
a
as
little bit,
time goes, and it's, to be fair, if you want to, a 4-5.
Yeah, that
I'm
probably
sure is way different than a 1-8.
Yeah.
But
it was ugly.
It's still an idiotic statement, no matter what you want to say. To somehow come out of that game and try to say the Mavs actually feel better about this series right now. I can't feel worse. Like they didn't have Kawhi. I know they have 3 other Hall of Famers, but they have one that's better than all of them. And they didn't have that guy.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just that. It wasn't even just that they got beat. It was just that they looked very unlike themselves that they've looked for the last quarter of the season.
Looks like they had 10 days off.
Yeah. They just got bodied. Luka looked kind of fat, which was weird.
That was weird. Why? Why did you think that too? I saw someone else say that.
It might have been my brother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, his brother called him thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
He just looked. He looked a little.
He did. He had
lethargic
little
and little baby fat,
chin fat.
Yeah. It was weird. It was just a weird day. I don't know.
And you can't blame 10 days off because.
I thought that was supposed to help you.
Well, but the other team had that as well. Is the whole point.
Yeah. That's true, too.
You're not a – if you were playing the 7 seed and all of a sudden they came out real hot because they've been playing all week, like, okay, maybe.
Speaking of being fat, you want to listen to Barkley and Shaq talking trash to each other a little bit?
Yeah, always. Is this after the Mavs game?
No, this is at halftime of the late –
Yeah, Mavs were on ESPN.
Yeah, this is at halftime of the late game. This is really long, so we'll skip around a little bit.
How can ESPN just suck so bad? At broadcasting games, like
and they've
the
tried
audio
so
is bad.
many different things too. They've tried Michelle Beadle, they tried Jalen Rose,
when
they
go
tried
to
Bill
break,
Simmons.
When they go to break, even during the broadcast, they don't put the score and time up.
Yeah,
and I'm taking notes, so I guess people don't really care about that.
Burke and Reddick are good.
I like Burke and Reddick, but
they
were on the noon game, right?
Yeah, they have an East Coast bias.
Oh my God, Doris Burke and the Celtics.
Yeah,
I almost can't handle it, dude. I love her, but it's a lot.
Give me your perspective on what we've seen in the first 24.
Great job by Willie Green having the Pelicans control the pace. They're trying to walk the ball up and down the court, and they're doing a fabulous job. Man, Oklahoma City got a ton of players. Whoever they drafted, man, they're 10-11 deep. But great job by Willie Green. The one weakness at OKC, Chet Holmgren, is having a very difficult time keeping Valanciunas off the board. That's why they're getting all those second shots. Valanciunas either getting the rebounds or he's clearing out space, because if you take away Holmgren, they got no big guys out there. So that's the reason they're killing him on the second chance. You all right, big fella?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Shaq is kind of adjusting himself in his seat, and it looks like the chair is going to break.
Okay.
Big fella?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, lose some weight, the chair won't break.
Well, I'm lighter than you, fat.
You ain't lighter than me, you fat ass. You ain't lighter than me. Get on the scale right now.
Valanciunas.
Get a scale right now.
Just because you're taking Monforo or whatever the heck you take.
Manjaro.
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, you taking Manjaro? What is that? It's a drug.
Yeah.
You taking a drug?
Fat boy.
No, you taking a drug.
Kenny, it's that diabetes drug.
diabetes.
I know, but everybody's using that for weight loss.
You know the drug you need to take? It's called this. You get out there and you do a little this and you do less of this.
Exactly.
And less of this. That's the drug. So what I was saying. Oh, you cheating the game. I'm not cheating. No, people cheating the game on Ozempic.
Okay, so now we're taking shots at Ozempic, which ostensibly they do ads for.
Right.
Because I see those ads all the time. Like, everybody knows somebody who's on it. And, Shaq's like, you're cheating, fat ass. This goes on for several minutes.
Ernie in the middle.
Keep it going.
Valanciunas.
Or whatever.
Ernie's trying to redirect it. And
This is hilarious.
Even Chuck tries to
They were
bring
in
it
the
back.
middle of breaking down the game.
It's halftime of a playoff game.
Yeah.
This is not Tuesday night Magic Hawks.
Yeah.
There's one thing that Oklahoma City does. Here you have Freezer here. This is Larry Nance Jr. And you got a double off covers. They're all matchup problems. And Chuck said they did a great job of drafting. Isaiah Joe over here is tough. You got Dort in the corner. You got Williams over here. All of these guys are all mismatch problems. They can all
He
drive
can barely
by
keep it
anyone
together.
guarding them, get some second shot opportunities, continue to put pressure on the basketball, put pressure on the defense, and finish. They are 5 mismatches. Come on, Chuck. We going jogging tomorrow, me and you.
Chuck, you want me to get you some Monjaros? You want to break your chair?
Nope, I don't cheat.
Either we got to put some
I don't cheat, fat boy.
Put some duct tape on it.
That's why I got 4. You got none.
Now it's ring time.
Yep.
Oh, I got 4, you got none. Oh.
And he holds up the 4.
That's why I got 4. You got none. Team couldn't be any tighter.
Neither that Shaq suit.
Neither could the relationships on this
in the gym.
43 apiece. You can't even spell Monjaro. Spell it. Come on, man.
Richard Simmons. Shout out to Richard Simmons.
Changing the subject. Spell Monjaro.
Quay, y'all try to quit spelling Monjaro.
He's not on Monjaro.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
God damn, that's the best
It's
thing
just
I've ever
amazing. Like, and Ernie just puts up with it, tries to
He's
get
like,
the
we
car
got a
back on
tight
the
game
road.
here, tighter than Shaq's suit.
But it's a Sunday night playoff game.
Game 1.
Game 1.
It's tied or something.
Yeah, and they're just, you fat ass.
I don't feel like
You fat ass.
I don't think that's fair. The I got 4, you got 1 in a fat
Done.
argument.
No.
Or I got 4, you got none. Yes, I believe in a lot of arguments. I guess Shaq can use that.
He does it a lot.
I think during the highlights at one point, Valanciunas is bodying Chet, and Charles goes, "Yeah, Chet's on Olympic or whatever."
Ozempic, yeah.
Whatever.
Ozempic.
Olympic.
That was Dan's thing.
Yeah, Ozempic's like in the news.
Oh yeah.
Or at least in the social media feed I look at.
I get it advertised to me a lot.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Must be because I'm getting fat.
I kind of want it.
You know what's funny is I was I was showing Blake this video earlier of when Migos are on a radio show, a morning show in New York. They're reading Llama Llama Red Pajama, which is a children's book, but they just read it over one of their beats, and it's really funny. And my daughter loves it. And I dropped my daughter off at my mom's yesterday for a little bit, and she was like, "Hey," she's asking, what is this Llama Llama Red Pajama thing? And I was like, "Oh," so I pulled it up on YouTube to text it to my mom, but somehow the ad sent. Like the YouTube thing pulls up, and then I hit share, message, mom.
It plays an ad first. Right?
Yeah, but I've never seen it actually just send the ad. I mean, it was the video, and the ad was like, "Why your wife is leaving you? 3 reasons."
Aww.
Your computer knows everything, dude.
I just sent it, and I sent that to my mom. I was like, "Oh,
could have sent
that appears
worse.
to just be an ad that was."
You could have sent
tailor
worse
made to me. It could have been worse.
to your mom.
It could have been worse. But yeah, that's gotta be careful with those personalized ads.
Man, that's gold.
But here's the other thing too. I didn't watch it, so
skip.
Yeah, skip.
He was always giving gifts. Thanks, Pat. I didn't write shit because I'm not a writer. And I just want to say there's a lot of people here, thanks. It was really amazing to be his little baby brother. Yeah, I'm not just going to sit up here and break down on you, but thanks for coming. Pat's a fucking champion, and always will be. Just make no mistake, he'd want me to say this. He's not with God, he's fucking dead. He's not religious, so thanks for your thoughts, but he's fucking dead.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
And we're back with Lane and Chloe. That was a fun break. We should have done that all on the air.
I was going to say.
I'm sorry to tell that story off the air. But we'll save it for another day. I'm sure it'll come up. What do you think so far, Lane?
I'm having a blast. This is
like
great.
Yeah.
Y'all make it look easy. It's so cool seeing this up close in the Dragon Den. It really is.
What do you think of the den?
I love it. Love it. You got all sorts of great stuff. That you got that Letterman Rolling Stone up there, Krusty O's box. It's like all the stuff I'm obsessed with.
It's a lot of Superman, isn't it?
Yeah, the Superman.
Is it over Superman?
No, I was obsessed with the Christopher Reeve Superman
Thank
as
you.
a kid. I
All
was
right.
Huge time. Yeah.
Here we go. I got a guy
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
Resources hidden some trees. Thank you, Blake.
Gotcha.
You ditched the hoodie.
I did. I got a little hot.
I got the
Temperature's rising.
I know.
Got the Dustin hoodie on today.
How do you like it?
I love it.
It is great.
A lot of requests.
It's like a perfect spring fall hoodie.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Blake Jones here for
hoodies.
Dustin's hoodie.
You know, it's a little brisk in the mornings, a little cold in the evenings. You don't need a full-on hoodie with fleece. You get too hot. You need something a little lighter. You need a Reigning Champ hoodie.
This space is for sale, by the way.
It is.
We're open
for
business.
All right, we got some more sports stuff. Want to do Dak?
Yeah, let's play it.
Okay. Dak.
I was bothered by his attire the other night. Maybe that's just me.
Go on.
You know, I mean, Romo's got the skinny tie because Romo's skinny tie guy, and I can't really talk too much because I'm skinny tie guy. But Dak is wearing like a... He doesn't have a tie on. He doesn't have a collared shirt on. He has... how would you describe it, Blake? You've seen it.
Let me pull it up here.
It's almost like a T-shirt that has 3 buttons at the top. Maybe you would call it a Henley, but
But he has the suit coat?
But he has the suit coat. And then, you know, Aikman looks like Aikman.
Yeah, he's always looking sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dak, Romo, and Aikman were at some charity thing?
Yeah, Dan.
Oh, yeah. It's like from the 1890s. It's a dress shirt. The collar is
it's kind
weird.
of like a Taylor Sheridan looking, like you would wear it in.
Yeah, he's doing a bit from Peaky Blinders.
There's something going on that I don't like. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a collarless shirt, which looks odd in a suit.
I wonder if Troy thinks both those guys are just spares.
What is Tony doing in this picture? Like, is this a smile?
Do you ever know?
Or
he's the Mona Lisa. The Tona Lisa.
Okay. Boy, Chloe loved that one.
Yeah. Anyway.
God, he's weird.
Duck lips, always.
Gut's looking pretty big these days.
Man, I used to love him.
We all did.
Anyway, the media's there as well. Man, it must suck being Cowboys media.
You just have to go to all this.
Like, we're Cowboys media, you know, we cover the Cowboys a lot. But, yes, if John Machota's going to be there, then David Moore's like, oh, my God, I got to be there. Like, what if?
Another hospital.
What if they happen to say something, and they never really do.
No.
But they did ask about the contract talks and all that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I'm focused on the moment, on the now. If the talks begin and real talks get to happen, sure, we can talk about getting that done. But
hey, are you surprised that he said that? If the talks begin.
That's definitely the headline.
Like, geez.
Yeah.
You guys haven't talked yet? This has been like the number one story on everyone's mind since before the season ended even.
Yeah.
Like how important this offseason is to sign Dak and to... That seems really weird.
if the talks begin and real talks get to happen, sure, we can talk about getting that done. But in this case right now, honestly, I'm worried about just getting better, being better tomorrow than I am at this moment. So leaving that up to my agent and Jerry at this point. And when those talks begin, I'll be more involved, obviously. So
no talks to that. Are you surprised with no talks to that?
No, I mean, I've been in conversation. I've talked to Jerry, and so I understand where we are, obviously. And Jerry's mentioned the same, so there's not any gray area in that sense. So, yeah.
He talked about the cap and all the situations and why they're not doing it.
We had a great conversation. We had a great conversation that put us aligned and where we are and moving forward, or where we are in this moment.
So generic.
And we'll address moving forward as that comes about.
Yeah. Well, it's not going anywhere, you know. This is going to be all we're going to hear about all through camp. Well, I mean, the other thing we'll hear about is CD's holdout, because he won't be at camp. So, yeah, this is where we are. And if you want to go help sick kids, you're going to be asked about your contract.
Do you think he's talking?
I don't know why I laughed at that. I'm sorry.
Yes, apologizing is the way to go. Then it's all fine. So
put this headset on again.
You can't get canceled here, bruv.
We've proven that.
What are our sponsors going to cancel?
Good call.
You know, Blake, you going to cancel your hoodie sponsorship?
No.
See, he's fine.
Still a great hoodie.
Yeah, like have they? He said he's talked to Jerry, like just him. And so has Jerry laid out? We got to get this CD thing done first, or
the tricky part about that is it would be a lot easier for them to get the CD thing done if they had done Dak first. That should have been the order. If they had done Dak first, they could have lowered Dak's number considerably, and then, you know, like that column I wrote a couple weeks ago, Justin Jefferson turned down $30 million last year, so he's going to get 35. So CD's not going to get that, but he's going to get 32 or 33, which, you know, they're going to have to pay, and they could have done that a lot easier had they done Dak first. To me, it feels like they're both in a game of chicken of we're only both like 70% sure we want to be here. Like that the Cowboys are kind of like,
You think Dak isn't sure he wants to be here?
I don't think it's out of the question. He's already brand famous. Like, I think leaving the Cowboys, if you're not the Cowboys quarterback and you're not a Super Bowl caliber player, being the Cowboys quarterback is definitely more valuable from an advertising standpoint. But if you already were the Cowboys quarterback, then you're already like really famous and you can sell mattresses. So I don't think he would lose anything by becoming not the Cowboys quarterback.
So clearly, though, it doesn't seem like you're going to get any kind of even the slightest hometown discount.
Hell no. No.
Should we criticize Dak for that?
I really, the way that like it seems like that these hometown discounts occur is in the structure of the deal. Not so much in the amount that you're actually being paid, but if you think about like Jalen Hurts' contract or Patrick Mahomes' contract, it's not so much that they make less money, it's just that they kind of get tricky with the number, which then goes way over my head. But it does seem like the Mahomes deal was quoted as team friendly, but he's still making a butt ton of money. I don't know.
Yeah, like
they're in a weird spot.
That's what I wonder too. Would Dak? So Dak has the greatest agency, right? CAA.
Mm-hmm.
Would they accept a Mahomes structure? In fact, like, would Dak take Mahomes' deal today?
Probably
same
not.
Exact deal.
Probably not.
And do you think
he should? Yeah.
Yeah, like.
But that's just not the way it works.
I mean, obviously, Tom Brady took a lot less throughout his career.
Less. I think at times I feel like you've overplayed that a little bit.
Okay, but even Dirk was credited with taking less.
Yeah.
And that meant he was paid $21 million. He could have been paid $23 million.
Right. It wasn't the max.
So
even LeBron, right?
Slightly, but he's pretty much, though, changed the game to where when LeBron first moved, I think the thought process would be that your superstars take more to get players to play with you. So LeBron wants a ring, so they could have each – I think they took slightly below the max, the 3 in Miami.
Yeah.
Is what you're referring to, right?
The Heatles.
Yeah, because he certainly doesn't take less now.
No.
And even Miami, they had to put a bunch of kind of garbage around him.
You keep Mike Miller's name out of your mouth.
And build around, you know. Whereas, you know, Brady took – I think it was significantly less. I mean,
there was at least one time where
he was making less than Romo.
Yeah, but I mean, also the Cowboys paid Romo way too much, way too early.
Yeah,
not a great.
Which is odd that.
Yeah, no, it is
the
weird.
same team is doing this with Dak over and over and over again.
I mean, it's really weird that you've got, Dak Romo and Witten dressed in white linens in Lake Como with the family. I don't think it's a race thing, but it is definitely weird how much of a part of the family Romo felt like. I mean, he got him his job. I think, right? Like to keep him from going to play for the Texans.
Jerry got Romo
the Dick Ebersol.
The TV job, yes.
Yeah.
That's what we think, yeah.
Yeah, and now they're playing hardball with Dak again. So, I don't know. But it did, is that the end of the audio?
Yeah, that's the end of that. He talked about other stuff. But, he also kind of said, he gave a pretty vague answer, but it was like whether it's someone point blank asked him, will you re-sign with the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Like they want here's what I ask so you could say the right thing for the fan base. But Dak did not take that bait. And he did say, I'm playing this year, I'm giving it my all. And wherever I play next year or in the following, I'm going to give it he kind of threw out that you just don't want you want to hear your quarterback be like, oh my gosh, I want this star on my helmet for life.
Yeah, which strangely is kind of what CD and Micah have said.
And Dak, though, has kind of thrown out there, hey, wherever I'm playing.
Yeah.
So that's certainly a negotiating tactic, isn't it?
Definitely. But this is a very loose tie-in, but they were at an event for not for children's cancer. That would be weird.
No.
To combat.
They're trying to intercept it?
Yes. Okay. That is correct. They're trying to intercept cancer and
they should bat it away.
Racism.
We've talked about that, right? You want to bat cancer away.
Depends
you
on where you are on the field.
It.
Are we standing up for cancer?
Because if you intercept it, you now have it.
You now have it, yeah. Deflect, pass breakup cancer.
Yeah.
PBU cancer.
PBU cancer.
Yeah.
But it made me think of, obviously this is a cause near and dear to Dak's heart. He lost his mom. And as sad as that is, all I can think about when I think about Dak and his mom and her plight is Chris Collinsworth from many, many years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't previewed this, but
you have two cuts?
Yeah.
It'll be 3rd down and 7. Well, Prescott telling us the other day that, he's super confident right now. He is a guy who, and you asked him if he's extra motivated because of the contract situation, he said, not at all.
I play for free. Got his mom a house. He's happy. He said sponsorships pay for a few other things.
Yes, they do. 3rd and 7.
Got his mom a house. Well, let's fast forward about 4 minutes into this game.
Dak Prescott and his special relationship with his mom, Peggy Prescott. We've talked about her many, many times. She passed away in 2013, and he told us this week all he ever wanted to do was just take care of her and buy her a house. Apparently, I said that in some very mangled way, and I apologize for that. But the relationship is so special, I would never, ever want to do anything to get that twisted around.
Well, he's such a guy who wants to take care of the rest of his family now, as he gets tremendous protection and hits Elliott.
The beauty of being a play-by-play guy.
Yeah.
You can easily change the subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Number one, he'd play for free.
He'd play for free.
He doesn't care.
Nope.
Not worried about it at all. That's changed.
Yeah.
Number two, even in
CAA,
the apology,
Todd France had a little something to say about that.
In the apology, the 2013 death was like before Dak was able to buy a house.
Quite a bit before. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
3 full years before. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but
you
know what? I apologize that I mangled it a little bit.
Well, no, I mean,
pretty major.
Whatever mangled way I said it. No.
Misstep there. Yeah.
That car is not mangled. It's totaled.
Yeah.
Yeah. You completely botched that. Yes.
All right. I'm just trying to look at the time. I'm trying to be conscious and keep these things around 2 hours, and we never do it. Do you care?
Oh, yeah. We're here, yeah.
What do you think about the long episodes?
Love them. More content, the better.
I'm finding out people like the long episode.
Well, and we meet a lot of people who are really into the show, though. So that's a bubble that we're in. Like, hey, people that pay us to come out to their place or something. What do you think? Like, okay, give us some more.
No, but I should point out to my clients, I don't actually listen while I'm working because that would be pretty disrespectful to my therapy clients if I was listening to the show while being their therapist.
I'm sure there are people who do stuff like that, though.
Do you therapize like in shorts?
Oh yeah, I'm in.
You got a nice shirt.
I'm a nice shirt, basketball shorts, and flip flops.
That's what Dan was going to do if he had to appear virtually in court.
Yeah,
it's a great way to do it.
Yeah. But what were you saying? What did the Conan thing? You're like, watch this Conan thing, and you're right. Like
Hot Ones.
I got to stop.
Yeah,
you loved it.
Did you see it?
It's great. It's incredible.
But Jake wanted me to watch it to actually like listen to Conan and not just watch him. Going nuts over the hot sauce. But he brought up a point in there of don't apologize. Don't tell the audience like, hey, is it too long? Are we going like just go forward. Lie. Say this is the best thing ever.
No, I agree, and that's
Say
why
it's 3
I find
hours.
it.
No, it's
I
my
find it,
problem.
and that's why I find it slightly odd that you just asked both of them if they.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm following up with. Okay. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. No, Dan, it's like your
I'm
movie,
no good at this.
Fast Times, Damone. Everywhere you're at, you act like it's the place to be.
There
Isn't
you go.
this great?
Yeah.
Right?
We're having the best time ever.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this then.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hot.
How do you like our new mail song? Are we pro or?
She listens all day, every day.
To this song?
Yeah, this song on repeat, exactly.
I don't know if you guys got anything, but I got a bunch of birthdays.
I got a quick Columbine follow-up.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you would say that?
Well, no, I actually went back and listened to your book report a second time.
Oh.
I thought it was that good.
I thought it was great.
It was really, really good, and I got a lot of emails.
And we're not
about
just doing the Conan thing.
No.
Like,
I thought it was really good.
Great.
And a lot of people had the same experience that I did in youth group with Cassie Bernal.
Yep.
Like, I got several emails about that. One in particular from John. Our youth group even saw it as a witnessing opportunity to the rest of our high school. We had shirts made that said only the words, "She said yes." The idea being, if someone asked us what that meant, we could explain that Cassie Bernal, student at Columbine High School, was asked with a gun to her head if she was a Christian or not. Knowing she would be killed, she refused to deny God, defiantly and heroically said yes, and then was killed. He says, somehow that would make other people want to come to our church? Not sure we thought that far ahead.
Yeah, that seems too hardcore for me, man.
Yeah, definitely. But, like, I feel like our guest on Friday had the same experience that I had.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of email about this, and to find out that it was kind of just an urban legend.
Well, I should have been more specific, and now, without my notes in front of me, I'm kind of just going off of what I remember. They were asking people, do you believe in God?
Yeah.
That was a thing. Now, the story did get stretched. She was never asked that. However, another student was. And she was like, what do you, she was kind of hesitant, and they did end up shooting her.
Yeah.
But it was just not as clean
kind of
as...
Put a bunch of pieces together for a clean narrative.
Yeah, and she ended up living, the girl who was shot that did say yes. And that was kind of like, do I steal the thunder from this book release? And do I... Because you're tarnishing her name.
Yeah.
And the only reason that her parents kind of got through this, Cassie's, was just the thought that their daughter died for something.
Yes.
So that's a tough
thing. Which 100%.
thing.
I mean, it's like if you have like family in the military, you know, and you can cope with it by like, well, you were existing for a purpose that you believed in, and if it cost you your life, you kind of knew that, you know? But, I mean, I'm like paging God, being like, dude, we'll straighten up after this. Like...
No, what is it in like...
I promise, dude. Like, I'm just gonna... You know we're good. Like...
You know my heart.
Yeah.
No, if Saving Private Ryan taught me something, what is it? They send the letters out if someone dies. It's like, your son died during a very important mission, sacrifice, did heroic
Pat
deeds.
Tillman.
I was going to say, particularly important today.
Oh, right. I just got that.
With Pat Tillman being, you know, they made it sound like he was like had a knife at Bin Laden's throat or something. Not that
And
you
it
know,
was
friendly, quote unquote, friendly fire.
the oddest term ever.
Yeah, it's not a great euphemism.
An oopsie. A military oopsie. We killed our own guy. Sorry about that.
It happens.
It does. But yeah, man, that was a good. I thought it was great. I got a lot of positive feedback on that too.
Yeah, I mean, it put me back in a place of, and I imagine everybody thinks this about like how old are you guys? 41
and 43.
Okay, so you were around the same time.
Yeah.
It just put me back in a place of, we had like Columbine and the president getting his dick sucked, like being discussed on television with it, and then 9/11 within like 2 years of me being, that was like my high school.
When was the Clinton thing? Because he was a big player in the book. I just didn't know where on the timeline that fell.
It was like 96, 97.
Okay.
It was the second term.
Yeah.
So 97, 98, something like that?
Yeah, and then I think
it was right before the second term.
Okay. But it carried
that was
on
a thing.
into... Yeah.
Right, no, but it was a thing like, is this going to derail him?
But like the trial and stuff like
think.
that went into... You know, it took
Yes.
forever.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
I think.
I don't know. It's just really weird to think about. And that's where like you get like Marilyn Manson and Eminem.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, the late 90s, early 2000s were very strange.
Wait, when was the second term? Was 96 to 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was after.
It was... we could probably look this up.
There's no way to find out.
It was just a weird way to grow up. Like you're going through adolescence, and it's like, oh, kids kill each other at school now. Yeah, that's just what you would talk about on the playground.
Yeah, I was in college when Columbine happened. That was just like, wake up, turn on the news. The dorm room.
Very
weird. A big deal.
What'd you call it? Satanic panic?
Oh, that was...
Yeah, I do remember being afraid of the kids dressed in black.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, for
Dusters.
Sure. Yeah.
The Matrix outfits.
Yeah. It's a weird time.
And you know how we blame...
That's why I turned to Blink-182.
But we blame Twitter now and social media for amplifying all this crazy stuff. Do you feel like Oprah was that day's amplification for anything that was kind of a moms at school are getting worried about?
Rainbow parties. Oprah, and then the offshoots of Oprah. You know, because there was also like... You know, the subsets of that. Maury, daytime talk shows, Ricky Lake, and stuff like that.
But they'd all
they would
jump
latch
on the
onto
same
something.
bit,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, that's why you thought rainbow parties were real, because 5 different shows was doing stuff about it. So they are amplifying this crazy thing that if it happened once, you know, it'd be lucky. But same way that social media now amplifies some wackos, and you just think, well, that's right there next to CNN. Their report, so I suppose that that's possibly true as well. Those two things are right next to each other.
This is some great media criticism, Dan.
Yeah.
Dear leader, remember we're doing mail.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's my wife Elizabeth's Andrei Kirilenko birthday.
Oh, layup.
That one's easy. 47.
I would wake her up in that special way, but it's Monday.
Got a lot to do today.
What does that mean?
You got a lot to do, man. You're stressed about the week.
I would think that'd be a great day because aren't you all kind of fresh and showered?
No, because people shower every day now.
Now? What, like since the medieval times?
Yeah.
But you're definitely on Sunday night or Monday morning, you're getting showered, you're ready to roll. The week is ahead of you, and like I'm doing the head shave. I want to be fresh. Maybe Wednesday I'll do it again.
All right.
Let's see. Anyway, this is from the other
shower
Jake.
talk lately.
I recently heard that Napoleon once wrote to his wife, "I'll be home in 3 days. Don't wash."
Oh, nice.
What are you reading?
It's just military history.
Yeah, just military strategy.
Yeah.
And that's probably to prevent her from cheating because he knows she'll be washing the man smell off her.
Right.
So that way you can't be with anyone. Because
Right.
I know what your disgusting smell is. Hotmail Dan, I turned 45 on Monday.
This guy's thinking.
I have gifted myself a Dumb Zone membership. Let's see. Listen, long time. Love you, long time. Hang Zone, Blake, Donovan, Jake. Okay.
So people can tell they're being cheated on by the smell?
That's what I'm saying.
That seems crazy.
Let's all try it.
Not a bad idea.
When it hits you, you're like, huh.
I mean, it's not quite Doug Christie's wife.
Yeah.
Weighing his nuts.
He's inviting us to a remote at his rental shop in Lakeside, Montana.
I would like to go to Montana.
It's pretty great.
He says $690 is ours if we do it.
May need a little more.
Travel is on you, of course.
What's the rental shop? Like for
skis?
Skied a little bit?
Let's see. Touring, glacier, kayaking the lake.
I've done that.
Backpacking, floating the river, mountain biking, rock climbing, etc. You'll have an amazing time.
You will.
Let's see. Sign Justin, the only DF in Montana.
It's probably true. Montana's great.
I have to send in my own birthday like a loser. I'm now the oldest I've ever been. It starts with a 4. Jake is right. Birthdays are a bigger deal for women. Men age like fine wine. Women age like old milk. For my birthday, I want more Blake, more Jake, more Dan, more Sarah Hepela, more Beth, more Akash, more Kip and Bodie.
Oh, I mean, there's only so much time.
Less poop cookie talk.
Come on, that was funny.
Ange. Kitty Fantastico on Twitter.
Oh, I like her.
Why don't you marry her then?
Yeah.
Uncle Hotmail.
I might.
Let's see. My hot-ass girlfriend, Diana, is celebrating her Derek Holland birthday.
35? 35?
Dutch oven. I used to know these things.
35, right?
She moved here from Valparaiso, Indiana, the home of Orville Redenbacher, where they honor him with a Labor Day popcorn festival and parade. Attached, you will find a picture of the Popcorn Festival's 9/11 memorial float.
Yes. Yes.
Complete with both World Trade Center towers represented. Notice the attention to detail, which includes the explosions and debris coming out of the giant holes created by airplanes that crashed into them. Personally, I can't have popcorn without thinking of this incredibly tasteful tribute to the victims of 9/11. I hope you'll do the same when eating your movie popcorn today. Never forget. From DF Todd from Dallas.
Jeez.
Literally, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Wow.
Do you see the email? Did he send it to all of us?
No. No, I'm trying to find a picture.
But they actually do have a...
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it now.
They have 2 towers with 2 big holes in them. Is that classy?
Yikes.
Dan, it's my 42nd birthday.
I don't mean to laugh.
I'm a day 8er because I'm cheap and I waited for the August billing cycle. My leaders are Goodnight Gorilla and Dan's Country Saturday game show Ambush of Jake. From Ian in Seattle.
Really good book.
Goodnight Gorilla?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Did I give you that one?
I think so, yeah.
And then I gave you Goodnight...
Dude Perfect.
Dude Perfect?
Yeah, one was good, one was not.
I just like looking at all the pictures in Goodnight Gorilla.
Lama.
Yeah, trying to find the balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long-time listener. It is my Cleveland Cavaliers Shaq birthday.
Man. That is deep.
That is deep. 32? No, it's
no. 32 would be pretty much the rest of
Lakers?
his career.
My leaders are Dwight Owl and whatever's in Norm's underpants. I don't have much else, but I do have to say more Blake. But even more Dan and Jake, he says.
33.
Sorry, Blake. Carlos Calzada. And that.
Were you pretty fired up when he was a Cav?
I cannot say that I was. I mean, I do love me some Shaq, but that was clearly the end, right? Wouldn't he play for Atlanta? And Didn't he play for a bunch of teams?
Phoenix, Cleveland, Boston.
Man, I forgot about Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't much. That was their look, LeBron. We're getting anyone in here we can. And even old ass Shaq.
We're replacing Big Z with Shaq.
Big Z.
You want to do some news and stuff?
Sure.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
Okay, let's see here. We will start off. Oh, yeah, early voting starts today, Dan. You're pretty fired up about that? It's the May 4th municipal election season.
What's on the table?
Well, for me in particular, it's school board.
For more and more in our worlds, right?
You're hearing more and more about it. That's right, yeah.
I've never in the past cared, or I still kind of don't, but I've never heard so much about school board voting.
Yeah.
As in the past couple of years.
30 different local school districts holding school board elections.
So now it's... In fact, I thought you actually didn't vote. They don't have parties.
They don't, but they do. Right? I mean, if one of the slate of candidates is funded by a extremist Christian cell phone company with some light white supremacism mixed in, you're pretty sure that one's to the right, right? And then the other one is just not that.
Uh-huh.
They're like teachers.
Yeah, because I used to always think it was just people that know about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know about that stuff.
Dude, and it's absolute catnip for me, too. Because,
and I don't have kids in school now. It's okay.
And I have chilled out a little bit, to our guest point, but it is very hard for me not to engage. Because it's not so bad if you go early voting. But if you go on Election Day and you go to the Grapevine Rec and Library, there's 500 people outside, and they want to engage. And I
that's
also
in your nature?
sometimes want to engage. Yeah.
That's really interesting about you.
Yeah.
Because I've always been I do want to engage when I get in front of a microphone about this. But I don't want any personal actual interaction or confrontation. But you kind of
look for it.
That fuels you, right? You're like, I studied this. I know my shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to I'm ready for a debate. As the Brunigs would say, I'm ready for the args.
There you go.
Let's go.
But nobody wins. I'm not changing their mind. They're out there with a sign.
There's not a chance to change their mind.
No, and they're not
Even
changing
with,
my mind. So
you could have a stack of logic, objective facts.
And so could they.
Right. And you're already locked in.
Yeah, we're wasting each other's time.
I wonder about that. The people out in the parking lot.
How many people are swayed by that? 1%?
They probably do sway. Let's say me. I don't know anything about anything except I went there to vote for the president. Or one thing. And then, hey, this other issue, this is really important. Will you vote no on it? And yeah, I guess so. I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
So this is like the pickup line or something. If you're using it, it must have worked somewhere.
Maybe, but
like the block walking. What is the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I told you about
at
the
least
lady
you're
that
going
came
to
down.
unsuspecting people there. These are people who are going to vote.
That's true.
They already have their vote on their mind.
You would think, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I told you the one note that I left out about the lady that came to my door block walking for the school board. And she was with the good guys, as I will call them. And she's like, yeah, I told her, like I told you guys, I was like, I'm pretty aware of the whole thing. I know who I'm going to vote for. And she's like, it's a big deal. And I'm like, no, I've been reading about it. And I was there with Carter, I think. I don't think Nora was there. And she's like, yeah, it's a big enough deal. That's why I'm giving up my Saturday with my kids to be out here talking to people about it.
Really?
Shaming you.
Okay.
Did you flip?
No, I was just like, I mean, there's not
He
another.
was already on her side.
There's not another parent here. What do
Yeah,
you want me
but-
to just leave
Oh,
him
you
at
flipped
home?
because of that?
Yeah.
Right then.
You know what?
I'll vote for the cell phones.
Yeah.
Just because of you
Screw
shaming
you.
me.
It just felt like an unnecessary add-on of
Kind of a shot at you.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
well, if you care so much, why aren't you out here block walking?
Yeah.
I guess you just value your kids. Plano woman is charged with murder after she allegedly shot her husband on Friday night. 55-year-old man. Domestic dispute. She called her friends to tell them on Friday night that she had shot her husband. They do have children, but they were with other family members prior to the incident. Not home at the time. A domestic dispute.
What was the origin?
Doesn't exactly say.
Often financial.
Yeah, what are you getting that mad about in your 50s? Don't you just kind of chill out over time with your wife? Like, who cares?
Maybe disagreeing over the school board voting thing.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
For
Could
all we
be.
know.
Hey,
Like,
early voting is Monday.
Like, what was the lady's name that kind of looks like the crypt keeper that worked for Trump? Kellyanne Conway? Like, her husband was just like a wild boy on Twitter, just criticizing Trump. I think they're now divorced, but there was a good 3 or 4 year period where they were both in the news all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And he would just tweet about her boss all the time.
And their daughter got caught up, right?
Yeah.
Their daughter was
She like
all
had a
over it?
TikTok or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
She did what? She came out. Yeah.
The daughter came out? Oh.
That's huge news. Kellyanne Conway's daughter. Lesbian. Apparently.
Nice.
But it would be weird. Jeez. It would be weird if you were just wildly different than your spouse or your partner or whatever politically. It's one thing if one of you's one way and the other one doesn't care. But it would be weird if you're like, we have to burn all these books. And then your husband or wife is like, actually, I want to turn all the kids trans.
Do you think the MAGA era has changed or like actually broke up some couples?
Definitely.
I've worked with a couple couples where that's become quite an issue, yeah.
Like one of them
That's
are on
tough.
board?
Yeah.
I know it's big in like family. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know about spousal relationships, but definitely family. I mean, I know
Yeah.
people that have not spoken to their extended family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually in the last few years had to go no contact with my family.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Like politics were just kind of a small piece of a larger picture, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all real weird. Although I just remember growing up. And
By
it
the
was
way,
like,
we don't know that that's why this woman killed her husband.
Oh,
it's an interesting topic, but I want to be clear that that is not a piece of this news story.
But
Back to Dan.
I do remember growing up, at least in our house, it was kind of, or it felt like, some things were taboo, like you don't talk about salaries, and you don't talk about stuff like who you voted for. This is a private thing when you
And
go
religion.
into that booth. Religion, but not just to avoid arguments, but it was just that's just a private thing. Like my mom wouldn't tell us who she voted for.
Yeah.
In a particular election. And we're just little kids. Like, oh, okay. Well, we didn't really care.
Right. Yeah, I didn't really have to wonder with most of my extended family. I was pretty sure where the die was cast, but it is interesting. I do feel like it's ramped up for sure in the last 5 to 6 years as far as people just cutting people off. And that's also like really unfair that they make the election right before Thanksgiving. Because everybody's just like so heated and charged up, and then it's like, let's just all get together at this holiday that most of us are just kind of lukewarm on anyways. It's not Christmas. There's no cheer.
No. It's cool that you get a few days off.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the week. Like if it's on a Saturday, maybe.
Yeah.
Gives you time to put up the Christmas stuff.
Yeah, that's what you got to just steer it to like World Series talk
Mhm.
at Thanksgiving, if possible.
Good call. Do you guys ever do the, or have you been party to the, let's go around and say what people are thankful for?
Oh, my God.
We did that a little bit when we first got a video camera.
Oh, yeah.
That was the thing.
Didn't you get in trouble for that?
Me?
Yeah.
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 I did, because the Cowboys had just hired Bill Parcells, and things were going pretty well. And when it got to me, I said I was thankful that the transition from a 4-3 to a 3-4 had been mostly smooth.
Greg Ellis was responding well.
Yep.
And your mom was
not happy.
That's what you have to do. You got to nip it in the bud.
That's
just
how to
make
end
a
it.
mock of it the first time
because
around.
you mock it.
But to be honest with you, at that point in my life, I was pretty thankful for that.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
It's the tuna.
It was 3 years in a row they were 5-11.
Come on,
Does
Campo?
she understand?
Yeah.
What a period of
Dallas
futility that
Cowboys.
was.
That's
Reclaim our right. Whatever it was, like
tuna.
16 or something.
Wow, that's
maybe
like you calling
17?
your shot as a sports broadcaster, just like.
That was pretty.
It's a thing too that the wife really loved doing when the kids were little.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we do it. It's for the kids. But then once the kids kind of started getting their own mind.
Yeah.
And my kids, of course. How do you think? Like, they ended it just the way you're Blake was just saying. You kind of ended it.
Yeah.
Like they just stopped taking it. You couldn't get them to do it without them just laughing or just roasting you, and then the wife's mad, and it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Did Joe participate?
I don't remember. I do remember him thinking it was hilarious.
It was,
but I don't remember what his answer was. I guess it's prom season because we had a shooting at a high school prom after party in Fort Worth. One dead, 2 injured. What did you hear about this or something, Blake? Or what do you?
My neighbor was complaining about prom dress prices.
Oof.
$700 for a dress to wear one time.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
isn't the big thing always the mums?
That's
homecoming.
That's homecoming.
Oh.
Did you say moms? Is that what it's called?
No, mums.
Mums.
Yeah. Is that what the flower?
Yeah.
The big giant.
Yeah. That's a racket.
Dude, it really is.
Prom sucked.
You didn't like prom?
No. And yeah, I went twice.
What do you mean?
I went my freshman year of college.
What was that like?
It was weird, but I sold it to myself because my girlfriend was only like a week and a half younger than me.
But you were born in that time when it's a mid?
Yeah.
Not really sure. Oh, August, right? Yeah. So
August, and she was either like late June or July or something.
So that's a weird thing too. When your kids are that small, you're
making that decision.
Yeah, like man, she's so good at reading, and blah blah blah.
I mean, I was
like,
a prodigy.
She should not be in kindergarten now. We got to let her go to first grade. But then you don't do the math and like, wait, she'll be barely not even 18 when she goes to college or something.
Not 18. Didn't really drive until close to my senior year. That sucked. I was smaller.
So you're a smart kid, but apparently you weren't great athlete. Because if you're a great athlete, then the mindset might be, well, let's let him.
Happened to have a sibling who was born in early September.
Did they do that exact same thing? So he could have been a year ahead?
Yeah.
And they held him back.
And
saying,
I could have been a year behind. They didn't so much hold him back. I think he just did like extra pre-K or something.
Yeah.
But he was like right on the line, and I was right on the line, and they put me ahead. They didn't put him ahead. And I believe Malcolm Gladwell has actually written about this. I think this is featured in Outliers. Because he was just bigger than everybody all the time. So, naturally the coaches or whatever will tend to be more playing time or more coaching or more attention or whatever. And I remember my freshman year of college, I gained like 20 pounds of muscle. And I'm like, oh, well, now I'm just the same age as everybody who's playing sports, who's a senior in high school.
Senior in high school, and you might have been better.
And I'm like, I'm actually like filling out as an adult.
You would have been better.
You would have to think.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been worse, to be honest with you. But yeah, prom sucked.
So we blame Chappie.
But I did go back the year after, and I was looked at as a loser.
Same girl?
No.
So you had a new high school girlfriend, but you were in college.
Yeah.
Was it still Richland?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you lived in San Marcos?
No, because remember the first 2 years I was up here. I was interning with the Hardline. So I was still like local. I lived on Brown Trail, your favorite.
Okay, I thought you went.
And I had known her from.
I thought you went there the first 2 years and finished up here.
No, the first 2 years. I mean, when I started interning with the Hardline, I had just turned 18.
Okay.
Like right after that summer.
Okay, so all summer you're dating the girl, or I see it.
Yeah.
But it was weird.
It was definitely, in hindsight, it was pretty creepy.
Was that the girl that he gave the full lesson to?
All right, that's the 1:30 news. That's what I'm going to call it now. Yeah.
The Dumb Zone
full what?
News.
Full lessons.
Like
If I'm putting his
the timeline,
I'm putting his timeline together correctly, if
Blake,
he's interning,
your timeline is correct. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay.
I'm not remembering this story.
The Grego story. Chloe loves it.
Yeah, we're fans.
All right. I just tuned in. I've never listened before.
I know. I was in an argument. God, Mom, please turn this off. Just skip ahead like 5 minutes. All right. Trigger warning.
Yeah, trigger warning.
When I was
Is
in
this NSFW?
Big time. When I was
what Jake's about to say?
God bless it. Mom, please, I'm serious.
What if she just
Stop.
subscribed,
Yeah.
gave us the money,
Yeah.
and didn't listen?
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be better?
Grego overheard me arguing with my girlfriend. The girlfriend that Blake is mentioning. I shouldn't do this. At the station. And she was yelling at me, and I was trying to kind of defend myself. And he's like, girl problems? He's like, I tell you what. Eat her asshole. She'll never leave you. And that's what he referred to as full lessons.
And how old were you?
18. Chloe, I'm so sorry.
Were you shocked?
I'd never even heard that was an option.
Yeah. Like, what the hell is that?
I was like, what do you mean? Like, I've barely heard of the other thing.
Yeah.
like
had he told you try doggy style, you'd been like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I was blown away. And it was very nonchalant. It wasn't like he had dropped some bomb or something. They just went back in to do Secret Ranger of the Day or whatever.
And he'd known you for a month?
Maybe. Yeah. And I was just like,
I thought that was like a Gen Z thing. And then Grego was way ahead of the curve, apparently.
Way ahead of the curve.
I mean, that's
like 30 years ahead of the curve, 25 years ahead of the curve. Yeah. It wasn't wrong.
It's Monday, April 22nd. On this day in 1889, the Oklahoma land rush began at noon.
Sooners.
As thousands of homesteaders staked claims. I don't really even understand what the Oklahoma land rush is. Do you?
I mean, I know a little bit about it, right? Like, they basically fired a gun, and people took off.
And you could just say, hey, this is mine.
Yeah.
This piece of land.
I think you could only get so much, right? But it really was like
there's a
starting line.
It's kind of like the Easter egg thing for the kids.
Am I wrong? Y'all heard of this?
It's something like that.
Like, we have 100 miles here. Go find your mile.
And we cleared out the Native Americans.
That
so
had to
now
happen
it's
first.
yours now. You have to just take it.
Yeah.
I think there was a movie Far and Away. It was a Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, like Ron Howard movie that showed that. And as a kid, that's like all I really knew about it.
Look at that.
On this day in 1898, Congress authorized creation of the first U.S. volunteer cavalry known as the Rough Riders.
Is that somehow related to, like, Theodore Roosevelt?
Feels like he was a Rough Rider.
Yeah, because he's the Frisco logo, right?
Yeah.
I still have the gear they gave us when I saw Dan go yard.
Oh, yeah?
What was that for?
We did like a home run derby out there like 8 years ago, and they gave us awesome shorts and shirt. Like, they've made it the whole time. And
I once threw out the first pitch there.
It's pretty cool.
Wearing a kilt. I don't remember why. It was like Irish night or Scottish night. Or
Irish night would be weird. Wearing a kilt.
Irish people don't wear kilts?
No,
Scottish?
it's Scottish, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm apparently both.
Okay. They just looked for someone with MC at the start of their last name.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I remember my kids were with me. And it was just like, kind of a cool thing.
I feel like that's maybe where we met Dave Raymond.
That's where I met Dave Raymond. for
Yeah.
sure.
When
At
you went yard.
the Seabass Home Run Derby. Is that the one?
Yeah.
On this day in 1970, millions of Americans concerned about the environment observed the first Earth Day.
Isn't that coming up? Oh, wait. Yeah, you just actually said it's the anniversary of it. I was just looking.
Is it always today, though?
I don't know if it's always today.
The 22nd? Or is it like... And the first one was on this day.
That I don't know. I just know I was looking at our calendar, and I was like, oh, Passover, Earth Day.
I found out today was Earth Day because people have been sharing the Tiger Woods meme of him shaking a tree's hand.
That was a good meme.
Yeah.
A lot of when the edibles hit on the course. I feel like I'm going to shake this tree's hand.
On this day in 1994, Michael Moorer defeated Evander Holyfield, winning the IBF and WBA titles.
Couldn't believe it.
That's
Wearing
right.
the Michigan State hat and all.
He first made the documentary Roger and Me, then took on the establishment. Moorer, who's not actually that guy, I note this for you, Jake, became the first left-handed heavyweight champion in history.
Nice.
Jake's left-handed.
I don't box left-handed, though.
Chloe also left-handed. Left-handed.
You do? Yeah.
Michael Moore came up in the Columbine book.
Of course.
Because in the aftermath, he made the...
Bowling for Columbine.
And he said the biggest PR thing to come out of that is Michael Moore took one of the victims of Columbine to the local Kmart and tried to return the ammunition.
Yeah, that was lodged inside of the kid, yeah.
Yeah.
I recently rewatched that.
And then he, doesn't it end with him harassing Charlton Heston?
Mm-hmm, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, that's
He doesn't help the cause either, though. I'm on board with Michael Moore and what he wants, but it feels like
just the provocateur style that he has, like, just turns a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Very weird fade from public consciousness, though.
Yeah.
Like, not even a fade. It's almost
like over.
All of a sudden.
Yeah. Because I used to buy every book he wrote and watch every documentary, and I was like, oh, this guy's like a prophet.
I like that. He had like a half-hour show that was pretty good.
I vaguely remember that.
Was that the one back in the 90s? There was something, he had a show...
Well, I thought it was early 2000s.
Okay, yeah, man.
It was, because it was Bush era. I'm almost positive.
Kind of just like stemming off of his documentaries and then Bowling for Columbine, and then like a half-hour, like, kind of stick it to the man type show. And
he did the 9/11 one.
Did you see Where to Invade Next?
What is it?
Where to Invade Next?
Yeah,
no.
Where to Invade Next was one of his slightly more recent movies. It's really good, and actually his least political movie. It's just like, you know how you always hear, like, America is, like, ranked really low, and, like, education ranked really low, and healthcare. Yeah, he goes to all the countries that are ranked number one and all those things, and just interviews kids there, people there.
He goes to like a Scandinavian prison.
Okay, what's it called?
Where to Invade Next.
Where to Invade Next. All right. I'm on board. Yeah, I loved Roger and Me.
That's great. That's a classic right there.
Yeah. But then he just was gone.
On this day in the year 2000, in a dramatic pre-dawn raid, armed immigration agents seized Elian Gonzalez.
Wow, Janet Reno.
The Cuban boy at the center of a custody dispute. They raided him from his relative's home in Miami. He was then reunited with his father at Andrews Air Force Base. How about him? Where's he? It's the year 2000. He's like 30 now, right?
He's got to be older than that.
That was such a moment in time.
Yeah.
Man, it was, and that was like peak SNL watching era for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janet Reno dance party with Will Ferrell. Yeah, that was a very popular topic for a long time.
And this is the day that Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire in 2004. Birthdays today. Rashee Rice, 24. Will he play this year?
Probably not.
Really?
Dude, I could easily see him getting a year. There's a lot of people that are pretty seriously injured in that deal, right?
You know what? This will be good for Blake. Good value in the late rounds
pick
of
him
the
up
draft.
in the late rounds, yeah.
While other people are picking up kickers, you'll remember Rashee Rice is out there. Maybe he'll be reinstated.
Richland Royal.
Rebel.
Was he the last Rebel?
Nah, he was a Royal.
Oh, you were the last Rebel.
You were the last Rebel. You said.
That's right. So that's what they call me.
Former Ranger David Clyde is 69.
Speaking of Grego.
Matt Jones is 41. I was talking to Jake this morning, and I said, are you a big Matt Jones guy? Because I feel like that's...
Had to be, right?
Yeah.
Your guy's wheelhouse.
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot to look up the exact stats.
Wide receiver, but he was a quarterback in college?
Quarterback at Arkansas, then he was drafted by the Jaguars, who made him a tight end.
Oh, tight end? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he was a wide receiver.
Or maybe he started as a wide receiver, but he ultimately ended up a tight end.
So, Arkansas at Texas, September 2003. I was at this game. 12 attempts for 102 yards on the ground.
Jeez.
He threw the ball. He completed 8 passes in that game. But he was like Vince Young before Vince Young, except he was a Caucasian, so I could kind of see it. Maybe I could do this.
Then he got in some cocaine trouble, right?
Yeah.
Were they still running a weird the wishbone or something? Triple option?
I don't know if it wasn't so much wishbone, but it was definitely weird. They also had nobody else you've heard of, to be honest. But
Marshawn Lynch is 38.
Really weird that I find him very entertaining, but that we've let him skate on how many really dangerously illegal things he's done.
Like what?
He ran somebody over drunk more than once, I'm pretty sure. Well, he's been in trouble a lot.
He was really good in the movie Bottoms last year, if y'all saw that.
I did not.
He's really good.
This guy just regular Roger Ebert
I'm a
over
movie
here.
fan. Yeah. Total movie nerd, yeah.
The Kemp Spin file says he hit a woman with his car twice and then fled.
Oof.
Also had a DUI.
How do you do that?
You back up. I don't know.
Hey, is she okay? I got to back. Oop.
Oh, no.
Oh, gotta get out of
here. Jack Nicholson is 87.
I don't think he's doing well.
Is he? He's still alive?
He's definitely still alive. I mean, publicly.
Is he like at the Lakers games and stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Then
Yeah,
you know he's not doing well.
I feel like he retired, and then just like kind of maybe needs to be behind closed doors or
Tended
something.
to.
Yeah.
Who's the Hoosiers coach?
Gene Hackman.
Don't you see on social media every, 6 months or so, you'll see a picture of him. He's like retired in Montana or somewhere, and someone at the general store sees Gene Hackman walk in, and
I've not seen that.
He's very gaunt. He's very old.
Yeah.
But so like I said, just every now and again that will pop back up. Somebody else will run into Gene Hackman, and I think the last time I saw they were dragging him for he was wearing the same outfit that he was wearing 4 months prior when somebody had caught him. And then those people were getting into arguments about, hey, the guy's 88 years old. Let him just kind of be. And
You know what
he
kind
probably
of a
wears the
loser
same
you
stuff.
have to be to make fun of the attire of Gene Hackman in Montana? Like, what's wrong with people?
The man was in Superman. Leave him alone.
Ah, yes, very. I'm on board with you, dude. The best Superman. Willie Robertson is 52, Jake.
Help me.
Duck Dynasty?
How do you know that?
Yeah.
You know people like that.
I know plenty of people like that, and I also know that people in that part of the world consider them to be major frauds.
Oh,
really?
No.
Yeah. The real Cajuns are not on board.
Oh, no.
Dude, have you never seen pictures of them before the show? They're all in, like, golf polos. They have no beards.
Really? They're
clean
the
cut.
cable guy?
The whole thing is fake.
Oh.
I mean, they're from that part of the world, but they're like, not, dude, it's all made up.
Oh, they're Larry the Cable Guy.
Pretty much.
They found a bit?
Yeah. And a shtick. And they do I mean, they actually did come up with the duck calls.
Yeah.
But like the whole bit is cosplay.
I mean, with us, we're authentic, right?
Absolutely.
We're the same guys that.
Totally.
What you see is what you get.
That's right.
That's you guys.
Better or worse.
Are you going to do that video of me tomorrow or no?
That would be the plan, yeah.
These
I
guys
started
found
working on
this
it this
video
morning.
of me from like 20 years ago. And
at least.
I think you would have to say kind of the same guy.
Yeah,
right?
I would agree.
I have not changed my game.
I would agree. He's on like a cable access
25
show.
years ago.
Yeah, 25 years ago.
Wow.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is 58.
Stinner now.
He's from The Walking Dead. Dana Barron is 58.
You know what I find interesting about The Walking Dead is for a show about zombies, it appears to be like a zombie television show. Like, isn't it still somewhat on?
Yeah, there's been a spinoff, at least one.
Like, I almost feel like that's a meta bit. To have a show about the undead, and then, like, everyone's just like, how is this show still on?
It won't
20
die.
20 years later. Like, it's always been weird to me.
Dana Barron is Audrey from Vacation. She's now 58. Amber Heard is 38.
Johnny Depp.
Machine Gun Kelly
Didn't
is
she
34.
do cocaine in court?
Did she? Is that the allegation?
You know, y'all never seen that? Like me?
No.
She kind of gives a little rub.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it like immediately. I was gonna let it breathe.
What
I
was
just
the next
wanted to
one?
make sure he writes the Kemp spin.
I have one on Machine Gun Kelly too.
That one is really good.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure in Dallas. Well, there's two of them actually. So he was. He climbed to the top of like a light pole at the Cavs parade, and he was like hanging from it. But the other one is, he was at a show in Dallas.
Is he from Cleveland?
I think so, or at least
All right.
was like
Likes
Cleveland
LeBron.
associated. Yeah. At a show in Dallas, he received oral sex from a good friend of mine, Rachel Starr, on stage. Look it up.
Boy, would you be able to do that on stage?
Well, I mean, he is a good-looking dude. so
No,
my-
would you be able to receive?
Oh, sorry.
Like you're on stage in front of a...
Thank you.
Like, I think there would be literal stage fright.
Yeah.
And then the whole crowd's going to see how tiny it really is.
Yeah.
And then or kind of see it.
I have not actually seen video of it, but I do recall it being reported. Blake, got anything?
That's what the file says.
Well, then...
Do you want to
Then
find
that's right.
video
Probably
proof?
true. Huh? Somebody in the crowd was filming it.
You can't find video proof in Texas anymore.
She is a good friend of mine, though. I smoked a cigarette with her.
Rachel Starr?
Mm-hmm.
Like shared a cigarette or...
Beth.
No,
So she's a
I don't wanna-
smoking... Like, how many people... Like, all the people out there who have been like, yeah, I've smoked a cigarette with Jake. That's probably the most famous one.
It's got to be up there. Yeah. She's from here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think we're like a hotbed of porn?
Definitely.
Like, a lot of porn actresses I feel like are from here.
Definitely. Yeah.
I feel like Austin has a lot of like OnlyFans activity.
It does seem the Twitter like stuff that shows up. It's a lot. I mean, it's Texas. It's like high school football. It's Texas, California, and Florida.
Do you think any of our listeners are on OnlyFans?
But not Ohio. Like high school football.
Do you think any of our listeners are on OnlyFans?
Almost certainly. Almost certainly. I saw an interview with a guy the other day. He was an Australian guy on OnlyFans. It said he makes $80K a month.
Damn.
Oh. Okay, I thought you were talking about a different thing. There's an Australian guy, I think. Have you guys seen the bit? It was like on Instagram, for every follower he gets, like tomorrow, I'll bet 10 cents on blackjack. And he started this like a year ago.
That's a great bit.
And he's up to 900,000 followers. And so he had like a $90,000 blackjack hand he played yesterday. And like, so every day, these are going more viral, and then he'll get a ton more followers, and tomorrow, like he won it yesterday. So he's like, this is for 180,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. Here it is.
You found the video?
Yeah.
Of the guy winning the blackjack hand?
No.
Machine Gun Kelly getting dome from Rachel Starr.
It's winning a different kind of hand.
That's right.
Wow, she's giving it her all.
Well, she's a pro.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, my goodness.
Good for him.
I think he's married to Megan Fox. Oh, they called it quits. Oh, man, those two crazy kids.
And actress or actor Sherry Shepard is 57. I found out this morning she was on The View, but I knew her from she is Tracy Jordan's wife on 30 Rock. She's really funny.
Oh, yes. She was great.
Yeah. 30 Rock guy?
Big 30 Rock guy. Also big Atlanta fan.
Sure.
I hear you're a big Atlanta fan.
I'm a fan.
Big fan.
Born on this day now dead, J. Robert Oppenheimer.
Should I see the movie?
And
no one gonna answer me?
Well, I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it either.
Oh.
No.
It's long. It's a lot. It's okay. It's funny.
okay?
Yeah.
Better than Civil War?
I liked the other movies out better that were like
Barbie.
I haven't seen Civil War yet. I want to.
Oh, that's right. Barbie came out the same weekend.
Barbie was
I
fun.
can't. Have you guys ever seen the TikTok, the Bobby Oppenheimer?
Barbie Oppenheimer? Barbenheimer?
Bobby Oppenheimer, is that you? Get your country ass over here. My mama told me you're making a bomb as big as a damn bus. How about instead of making a bomb, you make yourself some damn dinner, you string bean? Atom bomb, huh? Just like the original man himself from the book of Genesis. You met President Roosevelt, huh? You tell me, how does he get his bottom half to look like a little bicycle like that? Was he born that way? Like you call it an atomic bomb, even though its energy comes from a fission reaction. That seems to be something of a misnomer, correct? As it gets all of its energy from the nucleus of the atom, making it more of a fusion weapon? You're gonna do what with it? Bobby, does your mama know about that? If I know Anne-Marie Oppenheimer, she's gonna paint your back porch red. Boy, she's gonna tan your hide. I'm gonna make you eat a big old plate of grits.
Man, I haven't heard tan your hide in a while.
Oh, yeah. I can't hear Oppenheimer. Bobby Oppenheimer, is that you? Country ass in here.
Died in this day, we have Richard Nixon, 1994. We have...
You ever, spend any time on YouTube actually, listening to all the audio they have of him?
Nixon?
Yeah.
Like the secret tapes?
Yeah, but, obviously the stuff that ended up bringing him down is what everybody knows about, but it's all up there.
Have you?
Yeah. There are certain slurs that he really enjoyed.
Should we do a reports?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm interested in that. Like what?
The British cigarette one he was a big fan of.
Oh, okay.
No.
No ends.
Don't think so, no.
Okay. That would have probably been big news.
Yeah. But back then it was yeah.
The F word for gay, though, is not something that most people... I would guess, maybe I'm projecting... I would think people grew up saying that, and
that was 60 years ago.
Still say it, yeah.
So,
let alone,
but it's still shocking to hear the president say it. Yeah, it wasn't the State of the Union.
I feel like though that was a word.
And by the way,
yeah,
Spicoli said those guys are fags in a dream sequence thing, but to me, the N word was something I would hear on regular TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like network TV, prime time, family time, right? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, All in the Family.
You would hear the N word.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything shocking at all. But the F word for gay, I don't think you would hear. But I could be wrong.
Right to me. Yeah.
That's interesting. Anyway, Pat Tillman, we know he died on this day. And died on this day 1 year ago, Len Goodman. No one?
Nope.
Apparently he was a former British dancing champion.
Oh, yeah, he's a judge.
And he was big time on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah, I've heard Tony reference Len before.
Tony.
That reminds me. We got to get him.
And that
Jones?
was today in history.
He's the best.
I got to meet Tony once.
Did you?
I was a little starstruck.
He's a great dude.
He was great, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see him again.
Guess what it's time for?
What is it?
Closing remarks.
Closing remarks. Are you prepared?
Oh, yeah. Is it? What do I? Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Okay.
It's both.
Or did we already give it all up?
No. You want to go? Did she get to? Okay. Well, no. Just thank y'all for having me, and yeah, I'm accepting new clients. I thought this would be a good fit because I work a lot with male clients. Guys are known for not admitting that they need to go talk to someone. So sometimes having another guy.
Now, would
across
this
from them,
violate your thing, though, if it's a guy like Jake out there? Jake, do you want to have anything in common with your therapist? Like, be able to say, oh, you listen to the Dumb Zone, too?
Yeah, but...
Or would that be not... That's not nearly the same as...
I don't think that's quite...
I don't think
it's
you
nearly,
are.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's not nearly the same.
I think having... Sometimes I will talk with people that are big, P1s or, it's in Austin, a lot of people hate the Cowboys. So just like connecting with a fellow Cowboys fan, it's like, yes, all right. Someone who gets the stress. That
what if we're about to have a
year.
breakthrough? I'm about to cry because I remembered the thing that my second dad did to me or
You're
whatever.
Accessing.
And then it's 58 minutes. Do you like, all right, we'll pick this up. Like if somebody's on the verge of, or will you go over the hour?
If I have to, absolutely. But a lot of times you can you work with people, you see these things come. You learn time management, you learn to go deepest, like in the middle of the session. And as you start getting close to the end of the session, that's when you're like, hey, did you see Marshawn Lynch and Bonnie?
Now, does your notepad look like Jerry at the Senior Bowl? Where you? Because I've always been like, I feel like I should be able to see that when we're done.
No, What
do you got going on over there?
When I was first starting out, I would have a notepad, and yeah, it triggers everyone's anxiety.
Yeah.
So I got rid of it a long time ago, but yeah.
That's smart.
Because you're worried about what they're writing.
I'm like,
You just keep it all in your head.
Like every time you say, wait, why is he writing down?
Yeah.
You jot down notes afterwards. That's the key.
I do know that there's a debrief process.
Is there a thing, much like with the masseuse, like do some people just want, like, I don't want a guy, I need a lady. Like, do you feel more comfortable with or you? Do you...
I actually worked...
Because you say you're in therapy.
Yeah, I do therapy. I've had a few therapists over the years. The first 2 or 3 that I ever had were men, and that was, fine and great. But just so happens I'm working with a female therapist the last few years, and it's great. It's just kind of a different perspective.
Like, I would worry, do you want to not, like, I don't want this guy to think I'm gay, or do I, like, not manly, or whatever, like,
nah, but the thing
I'm
is,
more
like,
apt to open up to a lady.
But the thing is,
Either
much
way,
like with the massage comparison, like, they're professionals.
Yeah.
So it is obviously, like, maybe the first time you're like, oh, this is a little bit weird, but it's probably mostly weird not because of their sex. It's weird because you don't know them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've had both, and I don't have a really a preference.
It's more the personality fit, really. It's like sometimes I can check all the boxes for someone, but we're just not clicking very well.
I've had that happen too.
And so I'll even say,
do they have to pay for the first one, or
what
do you do?
What I'll say is, yes, I'm busy enough to where I can't really do the free intro calls and the free initial session that sometimes clients want. But what I tell them is, if we do a full session, you will have to pay me. If it's not a good fit, though, I'll use all of the stuff that we talked about, where I'll then go through my mental Rolodex and be like, oh, I actually know the perfect therapist to connect you with, so this hour was not a waste of time.
Okay.
And it's all the kind of stuff like you just can't get in an email or a 5-minute phone call. Kind of, it does help to just do a full session.
Okay.
It really does. But I was going to say, like, one of the reasons why, I mean, you guys are awesome. I need to say that in my closing remarks. You guys were
we're going to hear a butt.
The best show. No, y'all were the best show on the ticket, and they totally fucked up. Cumulus fucked up. Y'all are awesome.
That's what we kept telling them.
It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
And what I loved is I work so often with people that are going through some sort of work stress, a ridiculous amount of work stress, and I love that y'all talked about that and that y'all stuck it to the man and, stood up to a big corporation.
Him. They're barely.
That's right.
They're barely surviving without us.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's cool for people to hear y'all's story. I think it's very inspiring. And yeah, just a lot. I mean, that's one of the most common things I work with are people that are feeling really stuck in their job or career and just like they want to sort it out, talk it out, figure out what their options are. So yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. You do good work. You should be proud.
I try. Thank you.
So
Thank
how, again, you got like a website or
yes,
what's your bit?
UpsideWellness.com is my website, Upside Wellness. And then Lane Ingram is my name. You can find me, like I said, Instagram is probably the best. So Ingram.Lane. Yeah. Psychology Today. I'm on there. Yeah.
Send DMs. Send photos. Yeah. Blake, will you put these in the show notes? Isn't that a thing people do?
Oh, yeah.
In the podcast world?
Yeah, I will.
Put his little link in there.
And I should mention...
Hey, look, cute little link.
I think I mentioned this in the break, but I didn't mention it on the air, that I'm all telehealth, so anyone in the state of Texas can meet with me pretty easily. And even outside of Texas, I think we can still do it. I just have to call it life coaching. Basically.
I don't think you're supposed to say that part.
I mean, I'm a life coach is what I'm trying to say.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
What about Paris?
Paris, Texas, France.
France. France.
You can watch your favorite team on a sweater.
Boy, Blake, he's back.
But yes, I think we could make something work.
Okay. Well, good times. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
All right. Well.
Okay, see ya.
Adios,
mofo.
You can't get ass when you're doing a podcast.
They left a company that was named after clouds.
Cumulus.
But working elsewhere would not be allowed.
Non-compete.
So they went to trial with documents in hand.
Pro bono.
And made that little bitch squirm on the witness stand.
Meow.
We thought they were dead, but they're born again. Broadcasting live from the Dragon's Den. Jake, Blake, Dan, and Video Man. Clear as a bell in Kazakhstan.
High five.
Terrestrial radio's a thing of the past.
But you can't get ass when you're doing a podcast. No puppet. No puppet.
Undervalued and underpaid. Not to mention furloughs. But at least on FM, you're still getting laid. What's up, sales girls? No more backstage BJs at Ticket Stock. You want to meet Gordo? Just lonely nights casually murdering socks. We're on YouTube. We thought they were dead, but they're born again. Broadcasting live from the Dragon's Den. Jake, Blake, Dan, and Video Man. Clear as a bell in Kazakhstan.
High five.
Terrestrial radio's a thing of the past.
But you can't get ass when you're doing a podcast. No puppet. No puppet. Kemp and Bodie. Lawyer Bills.
High five.